Oh, so you knocking him out? Okay, I see. All right.
Oh no, guys, we're live right now.
Oh,
What?
You're supposed to tell us, dude.
yeah,
Oh, oh
no
no!
warning, no
What is up,
countdown.
dudes? That's
I'm
all of
so
our people of the interwebs.
We're over
I'm
back.
You know
sorry.
what time it is? It is Saturday, and it is time to go beyond. Welcome to the United States of Smash with a Smash podcast. You caught the back end of we gonna be smashing something by the end of the night. y'all guys caught the tail end of a conversation that was not meant to be said. But you know, it is what it is. There's always some wild things that are happening off the scenes, and that's what we happen. And I gotta tell you right now, while we're trying to get the rest of the crew in here, the panel that you see right now, we're gonna be rocking with because of the fact that it just seems that I gotta tell you that Google Hangouts is just being total bullshit tonight because of the fact that no one's having any luck right now. So expect some changes coming up because I'm tired of this happening. And I was like, and I love our crew. I love the people that we have with us. And I don't want this to happen every time we do a show. You know, y'all deserve better, and we're gonna do better. This year is gonna be the year that Smash definitely smashes on the scene, takes over. But enough of that. Let's introduce who we got on the panel. And the first thing I gotta say right here is I'm always glad to have this sweetheart on. She's the one woman who's always come out to Smash. She's representing the blurs of the community. She's loving the anime. She's keeping it real. The Moonshine Queen herself. Give it up for Charisse.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm gonna cry. But for real, bloody, you know I love you, boo. Thank you again for inviting me. Boo. It's always nice to talk anime with people. And hey, it's Saturday. We all got a little drink in us. Let's get into it.
Oh yeah, you already know I got drink going on right now, and I know you got drink over there. Cause I tell you, she's the Moonshine Queen for if you thought I'm the anime king, she's the Moonshine Queen. She knows what she's doing.
If I could legit ship it out to y'all, I would. You and 100, all of y'all, I would like little miniature bonded bottles. I would ship some out to you because my
do it to 100. That man ain't coming back after that. Please don't.
Oh no.
Andre, I love you, man.
But ship it to me. Ship all of it to me.
To you, what flavor you want, and I see what I can do.
If you could do pineapple, I would be happy. If strawberry, I'll take it too.
Stop with this pineapple, dang.
Hey, I love pineapple.
Hey, you know what? Pineapple is good for you on multiple reasons, so we'll take that off channel to talk about.
No, pineapple be snapping.
Yeah, see, this girl is lewd. She's rude, and she don't care if she get nude. That's why I love you, girl. That's why I love you.
Oh my God, I'm scaring my cat. Let's move. Let's move on.
All right. Okay, rewind just a little bit. And of course, we got the resident fraud of the group, the young boy, the young cat of the group, the man with no plan, Mr. Operation himself. What's up with you, Op?
What's up, y'all? Not much. If y'all hear something in the background, I apologize. I'm in a packed house right now, so I'm in the only quietish place there is, besides outside. But you know how Florida is. It's like traffic and birds and everything going on 24/7.
Oh my God. Are you from Florida? Are you really?
I am from Florida, but I'm visiting right now just to work over the winter break.
Oh, it's okay. We still love you.
I know.
Yeah. We love you. You my boy.
No,
boy.
Florida crazy.
Florida
crazy.
Yo.
No. What's funny is that Aspen's boy, he sent tell him about the video you sent to the DM and what she says.
Wait, which video?
Oh God.
Oh yeah. So he sent a video to the group saying this is the most Florida I've ever seen, and it's a raccoon fighting an iguana.
Oh, I saw that. And I was like, yeah, that's Florida. That's Florida.
Yeah, he said
I didn't record it. I just found it.
Yeah, he said I'm from Florida, and this is the most Florida thing I've ever seen.
Like this raccoon literally ragged on this iguana. Like this.
I saw that and like dragged him away. She was awesome.
Right. That man was hungry.
But yeah, I'm about a good 2 hours from actually I'm about an hour from Florida. So yeah, I'm staying y'all some on this other shit. So it's all right.
I'm repping the South right here in the big TX, baby.
I know, right? Hold it down.
Hold it down.
The Texas really counts. It's like a little bit of Central America over there.
I mean, we the Midwest, we the Southwest, we the South, we the Central, we everything. Texas does what Texas wants.
That is true. That is true.
All right. And of course, guys, you're on the channel, so you already know what it is. I'm your boisterous host with the most, the Got the Gamer, and your resident anime king, Bloody Knuckles. And I'm glad to have everyone here who is stopping by after the New Year's. And I got to say, the New Year, I'm pretty sure everyone was partying. I was partying. Sharice, I know you were keeping it chill. I don't know what you were doing. You were probably, lumbering or something. Oh, yeah, you were doing the fraud thing, just sleeping. But I got to tell you, man, when we look forward to what's coming in 2019 is looking to be one hell of a year for anime fans like us, and of course for movie and TV shows and everything that's going to be coming out. And 2019 is looking packed as all can be, and it is a nerd's like wet dream right now what's coming up. But when we sit there and look at the new year, we got to take a look at the year that came before and see how much it's stepping up. And 2018, when you go back and look at it, like 2018 was a great year for movies, especially for superhero films and other things like that, right? But especially the anime was really strong for 2018. And I mean, I had a hard time making a list of some of the favorite things that I saw throughout the year because there was just so many. And there's some that are still going on, finishing out the fall, going into the winter season of 2019. But 2018 was a really great year for stuff. So I want to kind of start with everyone's, favorite animes of 2018. So Sharice, since you're the lovely guest on the show, why don't you tell us some of the things that you saw this year that you absolutely loved?
Oh my God. Why is always pick on me first?
Because I do it because I love you.
Oh, I love you too, but still. I have the list in my head, but it's all random. My favorite was probably not what people would expect, but it was like a little, oh my God, Love is Hard for Aoki. I think that's the name of it. It was about this dating show, a dating anime comedy about these two coworkers who are very big nerds into anime, into gaming, and they're trying to basically date. And like, this was me 10 years ago before I met my current husband. And I related so much. I related so much to that, and it was like, it was cute, it was funny, it was everything that it was good slice of life to me, and I enjoyed it so much. It didn't have any kind, it wasn't action, no action fight or anything like that. It was a simple romantic comedy, and I absolutely loved it. That was my favorite show of the year.
Do you have any others, or is that the only one that really stuck out to you this year?
No, I had some that I didn't like. I can go that one.
Well, if you haven't, which one did you like this year?
I didn't like the Sword Art Online. I'm tired of that series and I want it to die.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm sorry if that was your favorite. I apologize now. But I'm.
Oh no, you asked Op. I've come on multiple shows. I've seen it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my dog's being rude right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dog, what is your problem?
I just smash because I don't like this show, but I just can't with it anymore. The premise of it is tired. They need to switch. They try to switch it up by taking it to like adding guns and stuff like that to it, but I'm tired of it. The whole needs to like take a few years off and maybe come back with something fresh. But I'm tired. Let it die.
See, I can agree. So I've watched every season of SAO, and that's because of the fact that it's like, if I'm going to critique it, I'm gonna watch it, see each season, and be legitimate with it. Like the first season, with each season, it's like one half is good, the other half is bad. So like with the first season of SAO, yeah. So like with SAO, when the first season came out, it's like the SAO storyline was good, but the Alfheim Online or ALO, that second half was god awful. Then when they did the second season, Gun Gale was cool, but then they had 3 arcs in that one. So they had Gun Gale, which I liked, and then they did the Alfheim Online with focusing on Shinon first joining the group, and that one was awful. And then they did this third storyline where it focused on like Asuna helping out the girl in the hospital. That one was a really, really okay storyline. But it's like they always have one good half and then one really crap half. And they're inconsistent with the writing. Like, I keep getting mad every time Kirito basically meets a new girl, saves the girl, and she's like, oh, I'm in love with you. And he introduces Asuna as his friend. It's like, no, you keep saying she's your girlfriend, but you introduce her as your friend. What the hell's wrong with you, boy? And then you just add a girl. You add a girl to your long list of girls that are getting cucked that aren't getting any.
That's one way of putting it. But yeah, I didn't even watch this last season because I was so done with it. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was like, I haven't started the Alisations arc. I know a lot of people said that this one's better because it only focuses on Kirito and Asuna and a whole new group, which is why I like the alternative Gun Gale, because I liked Len and her story because of the fact that it stepped away from Kirito and that group. I was like, it was a whole new fresh set of cast, but everyone else I've heard is kind of like 50-50 when it comes to Kirito and his group. Dog, stop.
At one point,
I know you want to be on the show.
You better put the dog in a broom closet, son, man. That man wild back there.
Yeah, at one point I stopped liking him. I'm like, honestly, if I hate the main character, it makes me so not want to watch it. Like, I don't know, I just want him to like get smacked or something. That bad.
No, I completely understand where you're coming from.
I don't know.
And Ryoko-chan in the chat, I was like, I agree. Why watch SAO when you can watch Konosuba? Konosuba's hilarious. I would prefer that. I was like, Konosuba and Log Horizon is all I need.
Oh, honestly, Log Horizon is a better show than Sword Art Online. I wish it got more love. I wish people knew more about it than they do about Sword Art Online, because I hate that one. But Log Horizon is awesome. Like, I like that one so much. I even have the light novels.
I agree. Oh, I have the light novels too. I love Log Horizon. I was like, I wanted to get its third season finally, but it's taken forever to get it, and it makes me sad.
Oh, you're a sad panda?
I am a very sad panda, because I was like, that one I preferred. I was like, when it comes to isekais or the genre called, transport to another world, that kind of stuff that we see with like video games and other things, Log Horizon for the video game ones was better. But I was like, it all started with Dot Hack Sign. People forget that Dot Hack Sign was the original.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, you're right.
You're
right. And again, with Log Horizon, my daughter liked that one better, which is again always good because then I could watch it with her. But she enjoyed that more than she did Sword Art. So yeah, that's another plus for that one.
The characters in that one were much more entertaining. I especially loved the idol who came out in season 2, because everyone was like in love with her. She's like overly flirtatious, and you find out no, it's a dude who plays a girl because of the fact that he wants to feel pretty. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah,
but that was one of my favorite characters.
I loved it.
Yeah. But any other shows from 2018 that you really enjoyed or that you might not have enjoyed as much?
That I might not have enjoyed as much. Depends. Like I try to watch like at least the first couple episodes of shows just to see if I'm gonna like it and put it on my rotation. But not much kind of grabbed my attention that I even want to try out. Of course I finished out the Ancient Magus Bride. I finished that out because that was that
Ancient Magus Bride. I love it.
Yeah, that finished out the beginning of the year, or beginning of last year. I remember the new year now. So I even bought the books for that one again because I loved it. What else did I enjoy? I don't know. It's so much. Skip me and go to the next person.
Okay. What about you? What did you enjoy throughout the year, and what were you watching? What were some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites are My Hero. They really stepped up this year, but like that's a given. One Piece, you already know I love that show, so I can't really mention that. Violet Evergarden, that was a really nice surprise.
Yes.
Out earlier in the year. Did Devilman Crybaby come out this year, right?
Yeah, it came out in January.
That was another one. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was a wild ride, man. That messed me up.
See, what was funny is that we talked about Devilman Crybaby way back in January, right after we started the show. And we were all gushing about it because we said at the beginning of the year that this would be the whole group agreed that this would be our anime of the year, and it has still held up throughout the year because it was the only anime that left us like depressed and like questioning life after it.
Man, I was bleeding out afterwards. I thought something like snapped inside of me. Like, man, what's going on, man? getting flashbacks and freaking finishing like Gurren Lagann, freaking depressed for no reason over nothing. But yeah, after that I finally started Detective Conan. That's definitely a nice surprise right there as well.
I told you, and we're still holding on to the bet who's gonna finish which one first. I'm pretty sure at this point I'm gonna finish One Piece before you.
You probably will, because like I got sick of that.
I thought we were talking about anime that just came out this year, because that's my shit right there now. Like I love that show.
Oh, Detective Conan is great, but I had told him that I had binged probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I had caught up with Detective Conan because I loved it. I told Case, I loved Case Close growing up, but we only got like the first 50 episodes here in the States. Yeah. When I went back and looked out for it, saw that at the time it had like 700 episodes because it had been running still in Japan since it came out in the early 90s. So you have almost 20 years worth of episodes, because it's on like episode 900 and something, just behind One Piece. And I told me and him made a bet that if I watch all of One Piece and all the movies, that he would have to watch Detective Conan and all the movies. And he took for almost 2 months later to start it. And as soon as he started, he's like, I can mess with this. Mm-hmm. He's like, I could do this.
I tell you, that's my motto. I'm gonna say it's on start. 6 months later, I started.
I started watching that, but the episode count just killed me. I was like, "There's no way I can keep up with this."
Like, I broke it down over 3 months. I had it down to a science to how many episodes I had to watch a day.
Are you serious?
Slide me that formula.
I did.
I'm gonna say, I didn't need that shit.
Yeah, I was just like, so at the time I was working at a job. I was like, I had an hour lunch. I was like, okay, I could fit 2 episodes at lunch. I go to work at this time. I was like, I could watch an episode before work. I could watch an episode and a half in between 2 breaks. And then when I get home, I was like, I watched 4 episodes. And then by the end of the day, I was like, I have 8 to 10 episodes done a day. And I did that at the time when it was like 600, 700 episodes.
Oh, God. Dude.
Yeah. But it's so good. I was occasionally watching other shows while they were running, because it was like I was trying to keep up with the season. So I would only have to watch like 1 episode of the shows a week, and then I would go right back to Detective Conan.
Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was time.
Yeah, I'm currently juggling that and 7 Deadly Sins at the moment.
Oh, 7 Deadly Sins is nice.
It's better than I thought. Well, I'll be corny and tracky as hell, but no, it's pretty good.
Yeah, again, another one that I can watch with my daughter, because she enjoys that one. Actually, she got me into that one, which is interesting. So that's when she watches in her room and comes to run and tell me what's going on. So then I have to catch up with her.
Hey, be careful about that MC Metalonis. I forgot how to pronounce his name. That man be a little touchy feely sometimes.
A little bit, not just like, dude, he should get slapped a lot.
Which one?
Get quick turn. How you pronounce his name? I forget.
Metalonis. He's the main character. Like him and Elizabeth. Like she need to slap the shit out of him so bad.
Oh, man, yes. I know exactly what you talk about. Yeah,
she needs to go put on some clothes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But
we all know why she doesn't. We all know why she doesn't put on clothes. Let's be real now.
Let's not go there. That's a different conversation. It's the beginning of the year. We're trying to bring happy thoughts in here. Okay.
Hey, Sharice, you of all people should know that anime titties always bring happy thoughts.
This is true, but hers are not that appealing to me. Like, they're better ones. Seriously.
Thank you. See, you understand. You understand.
There are better boobies out there, like legit, for real. People. Like, I don't know, hers, they just don't, and her, I don't know. Her voice is whiny to me. I'm like, girl, calm down a notch.
It's hella whiny.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah. But then this my favorite person on there is, what's his name? Bam. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's my boo. That's my boo.
I can agree to that. What else have you been watching up? What else did you enjoy throughout the year? Because I have a whole list, and I'm pretty sure I can run that whole conversation, but I want to make sure everyone else gets their list out there.
I'm trying to remember, because I did start a couple of things, but they're still ongoing for me. Afro Samurai, I'm almost done with that one. I'm enjoying the shit out of that one so far. I know it's short. It's a couple episodes, but I'll tell you, I'm slow with this shit. So give me time to finish stuff. What else have I started? It was another small one. I can't remember. I don't know, but yeah, my list is gonna be pretty short. But you can go ahead, Bloody.
Oh man, I was like, you not even in 20 2018 anymore. You going like a couple, like 10 years ago because you're still so far behind.
Like college or something.
No. Well, this is why we call him the resident fraud, because he's like, I'll catch up like 10 years later. That's it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just gained too much.
He's catching up. Yeah, he's watching. Okay, so on my list, I have so many, but I'm gonna go with the ones that everyone else brought up. Is that like with you, Charisse, Ancient Magus Bride? I loved Ancient Magus Bride so much because it was a sweet, like supernatural style anime that had so much aspect of a slice of life, and the fact that the way that they handled Chise, like Chise was such a broken character and felt dehumanized, and you had a character that wasn't a human like Elias, and she brought out the humanity in him, and he made her feel loved. Like, it was one of the sweetest animes to come out in a while. The fantasy aspect with the supernatural and everything else that they showed was just so phenomenally well done, and the music in that show, the opening song, I would literally listen to it every single time. I would love the opening song to that show.
Oh my God! See, you about to make me go rewatch this. I love that. Just even with the little side bits, they give you like the different backgrounds on the different magic they were doing or the creatures they got involved with. Like, I love shit like that. Unnecessary tidbits that I'm gonna win in the Jeopardy round that I'm never gonna make it to. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
You know where I'm coming from, like that. And like the way that they explain magic is like one of those things that whether you actually take the time to study magic or you just believe in the fantasy of what we've seen in books and the romanticized version, it still had plenty of both to give you that visual appeal while still making you understand the whole how magic worked and those who actually study that from that time. Because remember, Elias is like a couple hundred years old by the time he finds Chise.
Yes. Oh my God. And their whole relationship was just so beautiful.
So pure. It was so pure. They're so innocent because of the fact that she's so shy and he doesn't understand basic mannerisms. And every time he does something for her, the way that they both get so shy about it, it's just so pure. It warms my heart every time.
Yeah. I'm so glad you. Oh my God. See. Okay. Next. What's your next one? What's your next?
She's getting all worked up and teary-eyed over there.
I can't. What's your next one?
Okay, so my second one that I came out was also from the winter season, right, with Ancient Magus Bride, and that was Violet Evergarden. And I was the one who actually had told you to watch this show because I said that this show, the animation was some of the best I had ever seen. The storytelling was phenomenal, and each episode, while tying to the overall plot, was a self-contained story. And literally every episode left me ugly crying because it was just so good. There's never been a story that has handled. Yeah, no, because what Violet Evergarden did, it truly showed what happens when someone doesn't feel human, who doesn't have that emotional connection to people, who's been treated so broken the way she was, as seen as one single aspect, because Violet Evergarden was seen as only a weapon for the military. And as we see throughout the show, she grows as a person, growing in this role of being this autonomous memory doll, what they're called in the show, as someone who goes out and writes letters for people who can't write. It was literally some of the most sweetest and heartfelt writing I had ever seen. And I even said that this one has a great sub and the dub is phenomenal. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen the show, you have to watch it. Yeah, there's a sub for it. Yes, Ryoko, the one with the mother who wrote her daughter letters. That one absolutely left me just like heartbroken at the end of that episode because of the fact that she wrote 15 letters or something for like each year of her birthday after she would pass away. Oh my God. It is so good. If you haven't watched this, you need to watch Violet Evergarden. The fact that it has a movie coming out this year, I believe, and a second season, you need to absolutely go and watch it. You will not be disappointed with the series.
Please, it's on Netflix, y'all. Yeah, you got it.
It's in my queue to watch, but oh my God, you trying to I don't need to be crying.
No,
See,
but
I don't-
it's
this is why I
not
don't
it's
talk about
not
it with
tears
them.
like it's
This is
not a
why I don't
bad
talk
it's
about it
not
with them.
bad crying or anything. It's literally the tears that get you so emotional because the story is so beautiful. Like I legitimately watched the show with my mother, and even she got all choked up from it because of the fact that you not only get to see the main character grow, you see how she affects each person's life and though her coworkers and her friends and everyone around her, and it's just so pure. It is one of the like freshest animes in so long.
All right, now if I watch this, and I'm gonna have to tell you about it now.
Okay, yeah, you will. You can like blow up my DMs talking about it. Like,
I will
absolutely do it. I
Bro, I
will.
was
Okay,
doing so
I
well.
expect it.
But like, I was doing so well. I love this anime, but I purged it from my mind because this shit was so depressing, man. Now here you go, bringing it back up. I gotta think about it again.
But it's so good.
Nope.
It's hard not
No
to gush
excuse.
about that show.
No excuse.
No excuse. All right. So the next one on my list is another one that we all agreed on, which was Devilman Crybaby. Like Devilman Crybaby, I still have to say is probably my top anime of all of 2018. It was so good. I love the animation because of the fact that it took that very rough style animation that we saw in the early 2000s and 90s and some of the late 80s, like that very old school heavy line, over accentuated facial features and things like that without needing the extra details. Like it was one of those ones that really handled that old style well, and the way that they retold the story of Devilman, because Devilman came out back in the 80s. And Devilman Crybaby was a redo of the story for a new audience. And I love the way that they told Akira and Ryo's story because it still holds up after all these years. And the way that they added a lot into it, they focused on a lot of side characters too. They focused on the girl that Ryo or Akira was staying with, who he was in love with, focused on her best friend who was jealous, as well as it also focused on the little the ghetto kids in their neighborhood that did a lot of hip hop and rap. And you would kind of see them every episode, and they would always have a lot of songs and stuff that they would do throughout each episode that would tie into the theme of it. But they were still so prevalent. And I love that because Japanese hip hop is something that I always find very interesting. And the fact that they put it as a big part of the story was great to see. But overall, the whole philosophy of Devilman and what they push forward with the ideology and understanding, demons and angels and what that all equated to, the war between God and the devil, and what everyone's role in the world is, what happens when society crumbles, how do people react. It had you questioning a lot of things, and the ending with Ryo and Akira before the end of everything legitimately will make you depressed. It makes you question what you know, and that's a good thing, because the fact that those kinds of shows that get you, that open your mind, are really good, because there's nothing bad with opening. Yeah, we can all sit there and watch something that's mindless and stupid, but this one was so well done that even Soul King, right? And we know Soul can be very hard-assed about the animes, and when he gushes about it, he loved this series, and he was hyping it up to no end like the rest of us.
He was doing some extreme nonprofit work for this show. Like almost as high as he did for almost Google Stream. That's how you know a man loves it. You mean
like how he's a stand for Boruto all the time? Oh, wait, never mind.
No, we need to talk about that. We're gonna redact that from this.
I love you, Soul. If you're listening, I love you, man. But honestly, Devilman Crybaby, and what's sad is that after the show came out, it has not been talked about throughout the year, and I feel like it really should be. It is one that definitely deserves all the attention that it got, and it should still be, definitely paid attention to throughout the year. So if you haven't seen it, it's also one of the other shows on Netflix. So absolutely do go check it out. For you people in the chat who haven't seen it. The rest on my list, I'm going to kind of speed through a few of these. Angels of Death. I really loved Angels of Death because it was a very dark, heavy anime that went into some really heavy topics, from serial killers and a lot of what made them the way they are, a lot of the issues they had, what their trauma was and stuff like that. And for those who don't know, Angels of Death was based on an old RPG Maker game that was really popular back in 2011. And I believe in 2013, it got a release on Steam, which was very popular. It had multiple endings and stuff like that out of what you'd expect out of most RPG Maker games at that time. And was really enjoyed because the creator did it all himself. He made the sprites, he did the music, and he did the writing and everything. And it was really well done with the way that he handled it. And the characters, seeing them was really interesting to see the story the storyline that they chose from the game and how they kind of revamped it a little bit. The other big ones throughout the year was Musume Pretty Derby, or Horse Racing Girls, for those who didn't watch it. That one was really enjoyable. If you like something a little bit lighthearted and everything like that, this one really focused on a lot of like eclectic characters, very wild, all over the place. Their personalities were diverse. The story showed a lot of underdog stuff, not always winning, but it showed the growth, which is great. And of course, in anime, we've seen enough Fox Girls and Cat Girls and stuff to last a lifetime. But for the first time, we got Horse Girls, and they took over. They took over with it. The other big one.
I did not need that visual.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I know, but I don't want to. I'm gonna go Google this.
Wait, did anyone else immediately think of BoJack Horseman? He said Horse Girl.
Yeah, I really did. Like I needed to. What's the name?
Look, Musume Pretty Derby.
Oh my god, I'm so worried about you.
Musume Pretty Derby.
Don't spell it out. I don't want to see this shit. No.
I'm not spelling it for you. I'm spelling it for her.
But I still heard it.
Well,
everybody
close your ears.
I have to say, I was coming up. Let's go to images. Let's go to image. Oh God. Oh, they got cute ears. Aww.
Yeah, they got little horse ears and all that. They got little tails, but they're horse girls.
Oh my God. I'm so
they're precious.
They are something.
Oh no!
They are cute. I give them that now. I kind of want to brush their tails.
You know what's funny is that the coach always has a habit of just like of going to the girls. He's like, "You got great leg muscles," and he always seems to get kicked in the face.
See, he deserved to.
See, but I'm telling you, like it's really good. Like I think you and your daughter would like it. It's definitely one of those really cute animes.
I have to see if she wants to watch it with me.
Okay. Other ones that I really liked throughout the year. Cells at Work. Cells at Work was probably the biggest one to come out of the summer. If you don't know Cells at Work, it's basically an anime about all the cells in your body, how they work, telling stories of how your body reacts to certain sicknesses and intrusions, all in a comedic style. And the great thing about Cells at Work, right, was that an actual doctor in Japan, a well-respected doctor, actually stated that he really liked the anime, recommended people to read the manga because while they handle the situations in a very comedic fashions and make the characters over-exaggerated, that when they actually take the time to explain what is going on, such as how they're reacting and things, that it's very accurate to how your body is reacting to things like parasites, to bacteria, to sicknesses, to heat strokes. There's been like so many that happened. There's even one that he absolutely praised was the cancer episodes, talking about how cancer cells work. And that one really got to me because of the fact that it makes you really kind of sad about how cancer cells actually work and people don't really understand it. And it's so well done. It like I said, it has its lighthearted comedic moments, from the way that over the top white blood cell is, how neglectful and stupid red blood cell can be. And then, of course, everyone loves the platelets, how cute those little kids are and stuff like that. But it is still very enjoyable. Check it out if you haven't. It is one that I absolutely recommend. And you can learn a thing or two. Last on my list is, or the last few on my list, Zombieland Saga. I praise this one because it was unique. It's about zombie girls becoming idols, and they did music across all genres. There was an episode where they did death metal. They did rap on one episode, and then of course they did your typical idol songs, but the characters are so over the top. The manager's over the top. I love it. It's absolutely enjoyable. I'm really looking forward to a second season, since the way that they ended obviously is setting up for another one. If you want something that's very unique that hasn't been out in a while, please go check out Zombieland Saga. It is on Crunchyroll and Verve and those services. Next up, I'm gonna do a twofer because I stand by the studio and they're always doing great stuff. Studio Trigger, all right? Studio Trigger is one of the goats of the industry, some of the greatest of all time. I'm talking like they have 1 to 2 shows every year, sometimes 3 if they really push it, and they're always really well done. And this year they had 2, which was Darling in the Franxx and S Gridman. And you actually watched Darling in the Franxx, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh no. It was Neth out of our group that actually watched Darling in the Franxx. So Darling in the Franxx, like this year, Studio Trigger focused on mechas. And Darling in the Franxx, a lot of people thought was weird because it was affectionately called Doggy Style the anime, just because of the fact that the characters when they're in the mechs and the position.
Hold on. Let me write this down. What's the name of this again?
Darling in
the Franxx.
Darling.
I'm about to check it out after the show too.
2 X's. 2 X's.
Okay. I learn new things every day.
Yeah. So this one, it was nicknamed in the community Doggy Style the anime just because of the way that the characters are in the position when they're piloting these mechs. But as the story goes on, it explains actually why the characters are paired up the way they are in the mechs because it all ties into the story. And I think that's one thing that I can give a lot of respect to Studio Trigger and the director who did the series a lot of credit for, because while everyone always just like, oh, you know, he's just doing, you know, lewd or ecchi style content just to do fan service. Yes, it's fan service that's there, but as the story goes on, it all has a very strong purpose in understanding why the story is presented the way it is. And Darling in the Franxx really follows a group of kids who were never given a childhood. You know, they were raised to be strictly pilots and warriors. They don't understand anything. Yeah, they were literally trained to protect the adults that existed. And as the story follows, it shows them kind of learning how to be kids and maturing because it follows them as they're hitting puberty, what kind of confusion that they're having from the emotions that they're feeling, the thoughts that they're having, and everything else, and questioning things. It really shows that time when everyone's growing up and questioning what we're told and what we know, which is actually very makes sense throughout the story as you pay attention to it. So those who really don't know what Atsushi Nishigori does, he's done that with every series that he's done before. And I really respect what he does as a director, as the director there on a lot of the shows that come out of Studio Trigger. And then the other series that came out that they did this year was S Gridman. And I really loved S Gridman because me being a fan of the classics, I love Ultraman. And S Gridman is absolutely a love letter to the Ultra series, to Ultraman especially, and everything that inspired like Kamen Rider and the Super Sentai, or as it's known here in the States, the Power Rangers. All of that would not exist without Ultraman having come out back in '67. And S Gridman was literally an entire love letter to the Ultra series, to old kaiju films and those Monster of the Week shows that we grew up with, whether here in the States or over in Japan, as well as the over-the-top action, the transformation scenes. Like, it really was just a love letter to that whole aspect. But the best thing about it is that it focused on the antagonist of this show, not so much the heroes. And I love that because it explained why the antagonists, you know, what her intentions were and why she was the way she was throughout it, and kind of why she was driven to go against the heroes that we know. Sharice, did you? Yeah, it really is. It really is a great show for those who grew up with that. Sharice, did you ever watch Power Rangers or any of those older shows?
I love Power Rangers. I would race home every day after school to make sure I watch Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm telling my age here, but I was, when the first season came out, like I was day one there. I loved it. I still love my mother. Again, this is like a thing with me and my family. My mother watched these shows with me. So the main reason why I get my daughter to watch them with me. But so I will be. I've heard of this, but I didn't really know what it was about. Maybe because I didn't research it enough. But now that I've heard this review on it, I'm going to give it a chance. At least the first 2 episodes, at least.
Yes, it is absolutely well worth giving a try. Same with Darling in the Franxx. Like I said, Studio Trigger is really one of the best studios in the industry. Of course, you have the others. You have JC Soft, you have Madhouse, and all those big names. But Studio Trigger has consistently put out shows almost every year, and they're always well received. And I love and respect that. And each one is always a love letter to whatever genre that they're hitting on at that time. And this one really does make those throwbacks because, right there with you, when I was, growing up and young, it was right as the Power Rangers were coming out here in the States. I had Power Rangers figures. I had Megazords up on my walls. I had so many Power Rangers bed sheets and stuff when I was a kid. I had Power Ranger birthday parties and stuff like that. I remember having the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie on VHS. I remember that was one of the first times I ever heard a Van Halen song because of that ending at the end of the original Power Rangers movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man. I know. So you're not the only one. I was like, but then again, I'm a little younger, but I still remember growing up with all that. So I watched all the original Mighty Morphin seasons before they became, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then Alien Power Rangers, and then Zeo, and then Turbo, and everything that came out. I don't deny that I watched almost every season of Power Rangers, even to this day with my nephew. I was like, the only one I haven't watched is Super Mega Force, which is like the most recent one. I was like, I don't even hide that. I have no shame.
Oh yeah, because I watched the movie that came out. I think I'm the only person that actually loved the movie. Like I'm sitting here watching it with my husband, and I'm singing the damn theme song and shit, and he's looking at me like I'm stupid. And I was like, you know what? Just sit over there and be quiet. And let me sing my theme song and pretend I'm like 13 again. Leave me alone.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you tell him, just let you do your thing. Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, you don't let him stop you.
Yeah, you just sit over there and be quiet and look pretty and let me do my thing.
Damn.
You tell him to sit there and look pretty.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie now because he tells me that a lot of times too. He's like, baby, just sit there and look pretty. I'm like, okay. And that's what I do.
Oh, you have to throw back at him.
That's
see.
So cute.
I see.
Yes, we have to go back and forth with it because sometimes he'll be like, baby, you're talking too much. Go sit there and be pretty.
Oh, no.
Man.
Okay. And so for me, I'm gonna. So for the last show of 2018 that I wanna put out there is the one that is just recently finished running its or two actually, and one of them is the one that was just running right now through the fall season, and that is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And I mentioned this one because I've been raving about this one because as an isekai, as one of those teleported to another world genre animes, it is better than it has any right to be. It is overly self-aware. The character knows he's OP and comments on it, and everyone else around him does. And the fact is they know that people come from other worlds, and it's just like, okay, it didn't just happen this one time. It's happened before. And it's just funny. The action is great when it takes place, but the characters are so over the top, but their interactions is what makes the show just so hilarious. And I love it because each one just has me cracking up and laughing. And the fact is it actually handles its meta humor so well because it's so self-aware. And I love that aspect of it. Have you heard anything or seen anything on this, Charisse?
Yes. It's not one of my favorites. Like I'll watch it when I'm like folding up clothes or something, but it makes me laugh. It's enjoyable. Richard, like you said, what makes this show nice is the interactions between the characters. Other than that is to me, because I didn't really like. Again, it's not my favorite. It's not on my top list, and I just watch it when I need something in the background when I'm cleaning. But it makes me laugh, and that's always a plus to me.
Yeah.
So for that part alone, I'll give it at least it's up there, but not high. But yeah, I enjoy it.
I can understand that. I can respect that. What about you, Op? Have you heard anything on Reincarnated as a Slime?
I heard a lot of people like it. I remember when you first talked about it on one of our shows back in the way back, that title, I couldn't get past it. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. I'm not even gonna touch it. But hearing you go into describing how you like it and whatnot, I might actually try it out if I ever set time aside to see it. But yeah, I'm trying to keep an open mind when I go into it. Just this damn title, man. What's up with these titles?
Yeah,
man?
the
like,
title. This whole
the biggest
season has
hurdle
been
for
some fucked up titles. I don't know what people were thinking.
No. You think this is a messed up title? If you really want to talk about an overdone title, okay, I'm going to take you to an anime back from 2014, and it's called "The Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They?"
I thought you were gonna say Boruto, but let's keep going.
Yeah, I don't like
no,
that
but yeah, no. The show is legitimately called "The Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They?" That is literally the name of the show, and it was actually a really good anime. But I when I first heard that name, I'm just like, why? What's with the long name? Why are we doing this? And it's just one of those ones that makes me laugh every time.
Are we trying to get very? When we translate the title of the show into English, are we trying to get it exactly like it doesn't really matter to me. We can shorten it down. We can rename it if need be. But sometimes they be reaching, and it be killing me. I'm like, I don't even want to watch it because the name is like making me go ill.
See, what's funny about that, right, is that the names are long in Japanese as well, but they get these shorthands like Danmachi, all right? Danmachi is the shorthand conjugated version of the Japanese name for is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, right?
Yes.
But
oh
you
my
say
God.
so, but you hear the shorthand is just like it's called Danmachi. But when you see these English titles for it, some of them people are just like, why are they making it like a whole paragraph?
No, I can't.
This is happens when you have too much creative freedom.
I don't know, man. That's what
like.
we're gonna go with. That's what we're gonna go with. Oh man, but Reincarnate as a Slime, it is one of those ones from that is really enjoyable. I was like, I absolutely love it. As an isekai, it's better than it has any right to be, and that makes me enjoy it all the more because it's funny and it has a lot of comedy. I would agree with you, Sharice, that it's definitely not going to fit everyone's style of humor, but at least if you can get a chuckle out of it and enjoy some of the jokes, that's well worth it. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is still currently going. I believe it's one of the few shows that has a 24 episode season, and right now is currently on episode 15 or 14. I know it's right around there. So you still have plenty to binge watch through for those who are interested in that, as it is still going to be one of the leftovers going into the winter season of 2019.
Nice.
And the last show that I'm going to mention from 2018 is one that I absolutely loved as a fan and as someone who used to do this. This one just hit a very special place in my heart from the animation. Again, the music hitting that hip hop style as well as just the story. And that is Megalobox. I had actually boasted about this a while back with our boy Lemon, who unfortunately is not on the show right now. He wasn't able to make it. As well as with Op and them, is that we actually talked about this, is that I used to box growing up because my dad was a boxer. So I learned a little bit on how to box as I grew up. And I've always had a soft spot for boxing movies, boxing storylines, especially animes, right? So like Ippo no, or Hajime no Ippo, or that one, you know, I really loved Ippo as a boxing anime because that one was very special. But what Megalobox did, it really brought back the animation of the 2000s. I'm talking the Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Big O, early 2000s Toonami era of animation back. It had that very similar style, really well done. It had an amazing soundtrack, and it definitely brought back that old hip hop lo-fi kind of style that we heard from like Samurai Champloo because of Nujabes, right? It had that kind of soundtrack to it. And the way that they handled boxing in that show was very futuristic and unique, but also still very much boxing as you would think. And it handled it in such a well done way that it just made me happy and all sorts of ways that as a boxing fan that you would absolutely love it. If you're a fresh anime fan and want to get into sports style animes, this is one that you would absolutely love. Sharice, you know anything about boxing or anything like that?
No, because I absolutely hate boxing. Of all the sports, I think I hate. That's the one no. Then that's why I skipped over this one when I saw some previews of it, and I was like, nope, keep it moving. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't.
What did you at least think of the trailer for it or the animation? Did
I did like the style. It brought me back to my old school because as much as I watch new school anime, I'm still an old head. And I will rewatch.
Cowboy Bebop's still the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I will rewatch some old school anime in a heartbeat. So I did like the animation. That was one plus that I enjoyed about it, but I just couldn't get over the subject matter, so it got a pass.
I can respect that. I can respect that. What about you, Op? I know me and you actually both watched the entire show.
Oh yeah, I'm actually mad I forgot to mention this show early on, but yeah, it was a really good surprise for me because you know me, I don't care for sport animes that much, but this one it actually held my attention. I was really digging it throughout the entire experience. So yeah, I do really. Did we ever discuss it being renewed for a second season? Was that ever confirmed or no?
I don't believe it was confirmed for a second season. And you know what? I'm kind of okay if it wasn't because of the fact that it ended on such a well. Yeah, I honestly felt like it was a one shot, but it ended on the perfect note. You know, at first it left that open ending, but if you watch the very last second of the last episode, you find out the ending and how it was. And I think that gives it the closure that it needs. It doesn't need anything more. I think it handled that story of Gearless Joe in such a well done fashion that it doesn't need another season.
Yeah, that's true. So if it doesn't, I'm not gonna be mad. It told a phenomenal story in this first season, so I'll definitely be good. But yeah, it was really a good surprise. Definitely a good surprise for me. So yeah, I'm glad they were releasing because that animation though, like as soon as I first saw it, it hit me with like a ginormous nostalgia bomb, bro.
Nostalgia, right?
Yeah,
right.
Bro, just way back into those animation, bro. Because bro, it reminds me of those Toonami days and the glory days.
Toonami. Oh,
hey, like I said, that old school late 90s, early 2000s animation, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Big O, Samurai Champloo. Hell, if you want to throw in Zoids, yes, Big O, Batman and a giant mech suit. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. Just watch anime late at night until you fall asleep, man. The glory days.
Tom used to be my boo.
Tom was amazing, right? That's any 90s and kid and anyone around that era who first got into anime will know Toonami and know Tom, right? From when he was the first short little round version of himself before he got Tom 2.0, and we after the spaceship explosion, he got made into that like swole looking body.
Oh yeah, I didn't like him like that. He was just a side piece then.
Really? She said, I don't want the swole version. He's a side piece. I want my little short boy.
I know that. Hey, you need something to lay your head down. You can't lay your head down on something that's hard. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
If you're cutting a note with somebody, you need somewhere soft to lay it. That's just how it is.
She's just like giving little snippets of her life throughout the show, but I'm with it.
And you believe it or not, I'm not.
Oh no!
Oh, switch up. Okay.
Switch up. Now that we got the animes out of the way, movies. 2018 was quite an unexpected year for movies, and there was definitely some very big names throughout the year. And you know, this time I'm gonna start with you. What were your big films throughout 2018?
Of course, Aquaman's number one. I saw that the other day. That's really my second favorite superhero film, right behind Civil War. Yeah, I know it beat Infinity War for me. I'm sorry, Infinity War was a big waste of time, but it's all right.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was a waste of time. When you look at Endgame and the promotions for it, and what I'm like the theories I'm getting from it, like that's the whole topic for another day. But yeah, like Aquaman felt like legit an adventure. Like it took an adventure throughout the entire movie. I don't remember feeling that same experience. Or just feeling that same way about most superhero films. But yeah, it's just like I also worry for some as well because I look at the props they're using, the costumes, whatnot, Black Manta, like they look like 1-to-1 from the comics, and that worried me. Like, how would that translate to the big screen? It fit perfectly in it. it didn't feel cheesy. It didn't feel wonky. Of course, some people in the theater are like, "What the hell is this? All blocky shit!" Like, bro, y'all don't understand. Like, we've been waiting for this shit for a long time. So yeah, Aquaman was definitely a good surprise for me. After that, yeah, I still enjoy Infinity War, even though it was a big waste of time. So that's second after that. What else? Ant-Man and Wasp. A lot of people didn't like that, especially some hardcore comic book fans that I know in my life. They really didn't care for that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp was hilarious. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was the kind of humor you would expect from Paul Rudd, with the right amount of action of a superhero film. You know, it was a nice little team up film.
And hell, after Infinity War, we kind of needed that. So you know,
you needed that palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after Infinity War, almost everybody was depressed, especially us in the Black community. We just got Black Panther. They
killed his ass. I'm like, dude, my other baby daddy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I also say, you know, Evangeline Lilly for Hope Van Dyne. Whoo, she is a sexy woman. She is amazing.
She is cute. I'm not gonna lie. Like, girl is cute.
Yeah. I wish I could add Into the Spider-Verse to this list, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. So yeah, y'all know how I feel about the next show, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, we'll be talking about that next show for sure.
Yeah.
What else had you hyped throughout the year?
For this year coming up?
No, for 2018. What other movies were good for you throughout the year?
I'm trying to remember because I know I didn't watch too many, but I know I saw a couple of them. This is not comic related. Equalizer 2. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the first one.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen Creed 2 yet. I'm gonna bootleg that shit. That's all right, y'all. So I will see it eventually.
You don't bootleg it. You red box it. Red box.
Yeah. That requires spending
at least that. Hey, no. I would say Redbox that or anywhere else. I was like, don't do that. Not to Creed. I was like,
I'm not going to Amazon
especially
video.
Hey, don't do the homie Michael B. Jordan like that. Don't do him like that. Don't do it.
All right, fine. I'll get on Amazon video if it's there.
There you go. Do that.
$4.99. You can do it.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
$2 if you go to Redbox. Just saying. But still, support them. Like that movie was so good. Like, honestly.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of mixed feelings about it too. I heard people saying it was trash. It wasn't as good as the first one. Some people like absolutely loved it. I just ignored all of that.
It's tough for the same thing because you got to think that it had sequelitis of a sequelitis because it was the actual sequel of a movie that was a reboot of a sequel. You know, it was a sequel of a sequel.
You see, when you go and say it like that, you get all confused. Just say that. I don't know. I can't even don't say it like that.
She confused. She can't explain what she's thinking.
But that's
how it sounds.
Because that's how it is. That's legitimately how it is. But I was like, it was still a well done close up to the stories. Like, of all the open threads left from the Rocky films and everything like that, it was a great send off for that.
But yeah, that's dope.
Like, I personally felt so.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Unless y'all mentioned a movie that like jogs my memory. Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Well, we're gonna hop in with ours, but I think that you were keeping it pretty light with the movies this year, weren't you?
As always.
As always, Mr. College student having to be responsible and work at 12 o'clock at night.
Oh God!
Don't remind me of that shit. Don't remember.
I'm so glad my days of that are over. Dude, I want me to ship you some noodles or something.
You know what's funny about that? I've never experienced that. Like, I don't even care for ramen noodles like that. So, like, I always make sure I had money in my pocket. If not, family would usually come through for me to make sure I was fed. But yeah, the ramen noodle nights, I never really experienced that.
Yeah, after my first year, I got an apartment that had a kitchen, and my ass got a job, and I was cooking. Yeah, no,
that's what's up. Yeah. That first semester I got there, I made sure I got a job. Like the,
no, I ain't gonna lie. That first year I partied. Oh, I did. Oh, I was. We ain't gonna comment on the stuff that I did, but that first year was lit.
Oh yeah, always.
But that second year, though, I got a job and an apartment that had a kitchen.
Then it wasn't lit.
It wasn't not as lit as the first year. Because had to get them grades, but it was still good.
Pretty much. Sharice, what movies did you enjoy throughout 2019? What were some of your top films and things throughout the year?
Oh my God! How'd you not forget Deadpool 2?
She calling you out on the Deadpool.
I'm like, dude.
Oh shit!
I'm sure they gave.
I told you you're gonna mention one. It's gonna jog my memory. I told you beforehand.
Me and my husband went and saw this movie, and he literally like almost fell out his chair laughing so hard. It was hilarious. I loved it. Again, another one that we enjoyed that many people claim they didn't was Venom. I really enjoyed Venom. Yes, the story was different with the comic book and everything, but we understand. You know, they didn't have Spidey; they couldn't use him like they wanted to. We understand that. But
they did such a great job reinventing Eddie Brock's story as well as the way that he connected with Venom.
Yes, I thought that was very well done, and I gave them major props for that. Venom
exactly. It wasn't a great and people wanted it to be an over the top movie. No, it wasn't an exceptional film. It wasn't a 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10, but it was an enjoyable film. It was what they did. Yes, it was a solid 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10. It was a solid, enjoyable film.
It was good.
See, even 8, yeah, 8's still enjoyable. It's still really good.
Of course, I got to give a shout out to Black Panther. Like, I can't really all my baby daddies is looking up. I love that movie so much. We're not gonna comment on Infinity War because somebody said it was just okay to them, but we're gonna let that slide.
And I'm ashamed that you didn't mention this because you were one of the strongest stands against shout out to Moss, who was actually here on the show back then, saying that it wasn't that great of a film, and you were one of the ones who was actually defending the film.
Yeah, I mentioned.
How could you forget what you did?
Slight pass.
Yeah. This fraud.
This is what happens. I look at the topics. Okay, I start going through in my mind what the stuff I'm going to talk about. As soon as the show starts, I forget.
It's gone like a fart in the wind.
He forgets everything.
I have to write this down. Why I think I was flowing better on GRG the other day because I wrote my shit down.
See?
Yeah, right. See, here's the funny thing is he studies for GRG, but he doesn't study for Smash. He's just like, nope, not gonna read any of that. Especially when I give him the topics. When I give him the material, he doesn't do anything.
I still read it. I just forget.
Another one that I enjoyed, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Even though I'm still mad at how it ended, and when they left the little dinosaurs on the island, that made me cry a little bit. I'm like, why? Somebody get the dinosaur. But I enjoyed. That was another enjoyable one. Again, I'm trying to remember. There's some stuff that I missed out on that I need to catch up on. Like I'm going to see Aquaman next week.
Nice.
That I need to see Into the Spider-Verse also. And I missed the Fantastic Beasts movie. Haven't seen that one yet because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Yes, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Nobody knew that.
Yeah, we're forgetting something big. I'm mad at myself. Incredibles 2.
Oh, see, look at you slipping.
What do I do with you?
I'm gonna say this: the one movie that I absolutely did not enjoy this year, but it goes back to an anime movie that we were talking about, and I don't even know if this counts. But I am a big Batman fan. I'm a Batman fangirl. The Batman Ninja movie, that bullshit right there. Please, people, do not watch that. But if you do watch it,
which version did you watch? What version did you watch?
Hang on. If you're gonna watch that film, and I told Op this, I told Net this, and I told G this, but they didn't listen to me. And I told them, if you watch the Batman Ninja film, watch it in the sub, because the sub and dub are two separate movies, because they follow two separate storylines, because they were written two different ways.
Oh my God, that makes so much more sense.
Because Batman Ninja was done by a Japanese animation studio, and they do the animation and storyboarding first before they write the script and do the voice acting. Whereas in America, we write the script and the voice acting first before we do the animation. That's why everything felt off. I told them, if you watch it, watch the sub, because it'll be a whole different movie. And when Op watched it in the sub, he's like, yo, this is like 20 times better than what I just watched in English.
Oh my God, I have to rewatch.
In the movie's defense, the first half of it, the dub was great. I like the first half of it. After the mix started coming, I was like, what
oh yeah, when the bat mix and the monkeys. Oh God, I was like, okay, I need to smoke something for this makes sense again. I was so done. But no, I had to finish it because again, I'm a Batman girl. I had to finish this movie, and I hated myself afterwards.
I'm telling you, Sharice, you go back and watch it in the sub and the Japanese sub, it will be 20 times better for you. And you'll be like, oh, I actually enjoyed that much better than what I saw before.
I might have to do that because I was so disappointed. Like, I was so hyped because the animation is on point. Like, I love that. But
I know it looks so good. It was so good.
That animation killed me.
I completely understand. Yeah. So for anyone who's still who's listening, Batman Ninja, if you haven't seen it, the Warner Brothers DC animated film's always great, but this one, watch the Japanese sub. I'm telling you, you will save yourself an hour and a half worth of pain by sitting through that English dub.
I wish I could like send you photo. Like, I was texting my friend as I was watching it. I wish I can like Photoshop those things and send it to you because my comments are hilarious. I literally was like, who was smoking weed when they put this together? Because it don't match. Nothing. It was all over the place.
Yep. And that's why I told them, I was like, it was a Japanese studio doing the animation, and they do storyboarding and animation first before they write the script. And it makes sense when you look at it that way.
Lord Jesus. See? This is why I need you, bloody.
I know, boo. I got you. Anything else you want to mention out of 2018 that you feel like should be mentioned?
Movie wise. Oh my God, I can't. I just
Barbie
again,
goes
I want to see who goes to college.
Huh? Wait, what happened?
Who goes to college?
What happened?
I'm just asking.
I'm asking you.
Oh no.
Oh well, that was a miscommunication between both of you.
I would say no. I'm too old to go to college. I'm lazy.
Aren't we all? I was like, I know I should go to college, but I'm just like, no. I got tired of school way back in the day. I don't want to go back. I don't want to do that again.
It's not much. Don't believe the hype. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I'm too established now in my laziness. I can't change things.
Right.
I'm mad. Well, I guess now one of us has taught like I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Nobody has said anything about Solo. Did we not watch that? Did we skip over that? Did we brain fart it away?
I haven't gone through my movies yet, but I want to mention Solo. Like, I didn't go see it when it came out in theaters. I did not go see it when it was out. However, actually over Christmas, when I was with my family, on TV, the Solo movie came out, and I actually sat down and watched it with my dad, who's also a big Star Wars fan like me. And it was actually enjoyable. It wasn't a great film, but it did not deserve half the hate of what it's got. I will say this: the cinematography, the animation, and the action sequences in that film were actually really, really good. I like the way that they were portraying the old Solo comics, talking about how Han Solo got his start, and a very interesting, peculiar way to bring it into the canon. Now, again, it wasn't a perfect film, not by any means at all, but it was still a good film. I would have given it a solid, 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10, which people look at that and say, oh, that's a horrible rating. No, it's not.
That's like average.
Because
average.
That is an average and enjoyable film. Like, people have taken that only good films are 8 and above. No, it's not. I was like, 5 and below is movies that are questionable and unwatchable. 6.5 back in the day, and even a 7 is a solid, enjoyable film. And this is what that is. It is definitely something that's like, if you can Redbox it, you can rent it, or if you find it on TV, definitely check it out. It's well worth the watch, especially for Star Wars fans. I was like, we gotta stop complaining. Yes, I get it. Disney is doing some things with Star Wars that not all Star Wars fans support, but they're doing what they can to, one, build the universe up and make it available to everyone, as well as they're picking stories out of the old extended universe and bringing them into the canon. I was like, there's a reason they turned all of the old extended universe into the Legends, because let's be honest, George Lucas let anyone who asked to write a Star Wars book, let him do it. And some of them were so all over the place. I don't even know. And I read a lot of those, right? I read most of those going through middle school and high school. Like, I could tell you about Darth Plagueis. I could tell you about the official Darth Revan books after Knights of the Old Republic came out. I can tell you about, so much of that stuff. But it was still all wild and all over the place, and it was a mess. And I'm glad that they're streamlining it and they're adding a lot more. They officially brought Plagueis, they brought Darth Revan and Darth Malak and them, teasing them in the Clone Wars animated series and referencing them again in Rebels. They're bringing some of those characters and old stories into the official canon. And after this trilogy, they're going to do a lot of single shot stories. There's still so many villains that they can touch on and do individual stories of as a thing. Calm down and let's wait to see what they do before we get all up in arms over everything.
That's not going to happen.
I'm just going to trash them in advance.
It's not going to happen, but I can at least hope. As a Star Wars fan, I can hope. But yeah, so Solo was enjoyable, right? But for me, some of my standout movies throughout the year was, I have to mention Black Panther. Like, Black Panther, it blew me away. Like, an all-black cast, the way they did it, the story, the acting, everything was simply phenomenal. The soundtrack was top-notch. They handled, the action right. Like, everything was done in the most perfect fashion for that film, and it literally was a cultural phenomenon for people to have a strong Black or African hero to really look up to. It was great, and I'm not downplaying any of the other heroes and superheroes that have come before them. And you could say what you want about Robert Downey Jr., but what they did with Black Panther was a true cultural phenomenon for those who actually wanted a full dedicated Black superhero, and they got that. Chadwick Boseman did amazing as playing T'Challa.
I feel sorry for him because, like, after Black Panther, bro, nobody let him live down that position. Like, literally,
yes, but you got to think about the impact it had. That's what comes with fame. Sometimes you get those roles that really solidify. Look at
Chris Evans.
Yes, Chris Evans as Captain America. But look at Harrison Ford. No, Harrison Ford. Everyone can't look past him as either Indiana Jones or Han Solo. That's what everyone remembers him. But he's done a lot of great drama roles as well. But people don't let him live that down. But it's the cost of what comes with gaining your fame and what really sets you apart. Look at again with Carrie Fisher. Everyone sees her as our princess and our queen, as Leia, but she's did a lot of drama roles. Yeah, she is my general. She is my princess. She is all of that. But she also did a lot of other films as well, and she wrote and rewrote scripts for a lot of films as well. People forget that about what she did. She was a script doctor in Hollywood. But again, it's one of those things that come with fame and what sets you out. Mark Hamill, he was always going to be Luke Skywalker, but to others, he's always going to be the Joker. Those are his most notable roles.
Yes.
It comes with it. What's up?
A small few people.
No.
Was he a Twister? I forgot. No.
He's a Joker. Let's just leave it alone. He's a Joker. That's what he's. That's
he played some villain in CW Flash. I can't remember what it was.
But along with Black Panther, shout out to Ryan Coogler. Like, he did an amazing job as a director, helped writing that script. His vision and what he wanted with the visuals and everything that came out in that film was simply next level, and he deserves a lot of the credit that movie got. And I'm really glad that he's coming back for the sequel. With whatever they're gonna do with the sequel, like, I'm really looking forward to that. Now, other big films that kind of stood out for me throughout 2018, Ready Player One. I watched it a couple months ago, right? I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I did watch it back in October. And my God, did I love that film, because as a nerd, it hit so many references that I got that is current. But as someone who loved movies in an era before me, from the 80s and the 70s, I recognize so many of the references in that film. that it legitimately filled me with glee. And every time I saw something that I recognized and could immediately identify, I literally started giggling like a schoolgirl as me and my roommates were watching it, because I was just like, I know that. And we would sit there, start shouting out things that we can recognize throughout the scene. And it brought me so much happiness, because that was a book, or a book that was written by a nerd who loved the 80s, that was directed by one of the biggest nerds in Hollywood. I'm talking Steven Spielberg, who created half the movies and half the content that was being written about in that book. So it was a massive, like, 360 full circle film for Steven Spielberg with that film. Like, it was something that as a nerd, whether you like the full story of it or not, that the references and everything within should just fill your nerdy heart with just some special kind of happiness as you recognize everything.
Yeah, the Ready Player One was definitely a great movie that came out this year. Like, I was right there with you, man. Like, all the references that I caught, I was surprised I caught some, because I know some before my time. I'm like, oh shit, I actually know this. I'm the one person in the theater who actually knows this shit going on. So yeah, man.
Right. Everything, man. It was something special. Sharice, I know. Did you see this film? Did you watch Ready Player One?
I have not seen it yet. I have not. Because that was when I was gonna. I got to see it. Everybody keeps telling me that I need to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Go. Like, after the show, go to Redbox, go find the movie, rent it, and I'm telling you, you will find a special set of happiness as you recognize everything that comes out in that film. You'll be like, oh, I remember that. I know where that's from. And you'll be like, oh, I know that too. Like, you'll get giddy as you start recognizing everything.
Yo, but real quick, Sharice, do you remember the movie The Iron Giant, the animated one?
Of course. Of
course.
You'll love it. All right, that's all you need to know.
Oh, okay. That's kind of reviews I like.
Not even that. Literally, like, at the end of the film, when the Gundam showed up and I saw it, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Zero. I was like, it's Zero. I was like, I got so excited. I was like, it's Gundam. I was like, yes. It made me like get so excited. I really love that film.
It's low-key a movie for everybody.
It really is. It really is, because it has so many references to what comes out, what's come and currently popular in pop culture now. But it definitely has so many references to the 80s. It's like, if you read the book, because for those who don't know, it is based off a book called Ready Player One. It is an entire love letter to the 80s. It really is, so much so. And you'll recognize that as you watch this film. Like, I don't know what more to say on it. Like, it is one of those films that you just got to experience. It really is. So elsewise, of course, we have to mention this, because we all saw it back in April. We all talked about it going into May. Infinity War. Infinity War was a special film. Now we can go back and say, that some of the stuff in that movie was unnecessary. But at the time, right, we gushed about it. And if you haven't seen the show that we did way back then, we actually had a lot of our family. We had King David, Jamie Moran, shout out to those guys, and a couple others in there. Even Avers of G4G. We had a lot of our friends from around the community on there, and we did a 3.5 hour reenactment of the film as we broke it down and did a full spoiler cast on it, and we were going off. I mean, me and David were literally breaking down everything for everyone to keep up, so that way, oh my god, if you wanted to hear like a full breakdown of comics to movie transition, go and watch that, or listen to it if you haven't. Like, honestly, it was probably one of our favorite shows that we did throughout the year. Honestly, it was something spectacular. Of course, Sharice, you mentioned Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom was really enjoyable. I really do like it. Like, the first Jurassic World, the reboot of the series. Oh my god, it made me so happy just because I love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are so cool. I love it. And Chris Pratt's an enjoyable character. He's such a good soul. I love him. Yeah, I'll say that. He's a very attractive man.
He is. Like, dude, just admit it. Like, everybody, if you could just admit that Chris Pratt is hot, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, I mean, like I loved him in Parks and Rec because he made me laugh, and I was just like, yeah, that's pretty much my humor. And then seeing him go to Star-Lord and what he did in Guardians, and then in Jurassic World, I was like, his humor stays consistent, his personality never changes. I was like, I love you, dude. I was like, you are what I want to be.
He's a good one. He's a good one.
He really is.
Fallen World was an enjoyable popcorn movie. Me and my husband enjoyed it. The dinosaur stuff on the island made me shed a tear. But the ending kind of made me like say, "What the fuck, people?"
Right. Of course, Equalizer 2 got a shout out. Got to shout out
that was a good one.
Denzel. I love Denzel. He's still kicking it hard as an action star. Gotta love that. Underdog, that was surprisingly self-aware and hilarious, apparently was the Teen Titans go to the movies. We seen a lot. Me and Op have seen. Oh no, we did not see that. But me and Op refused to see it. But we've seen so many clips and things out of the film, and it's just like, why is this actually funnier than it has any right to be? And it is overly self-aware. I was like, we kind of want to watch this. Like the fact that they made the joke about how Bruce Wayne became Batman, and I was just like, oh my god, they actually did that. They had a Stan Lee reference in there, like one of his last cameos. He was actually legitimately in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I was just like, what madness is this? It was something special.
Yeah, as much as I hate Teen Titans Go, you can't fault that show is funny as shit. That show is funny as shit. You cannot fault him on that part. Like, I remember I was watching it first, like, trying to find out. I legit laughed. But, like, that side of me that loved the original Teen Titans, that stand in me, I couldn't let myself watch it anymore. I couldn't let myself enjoy it any more than that.
Yeah. Other movies. Black Klansman, all right? If you don't know Spike Lee, I was like, you need to go and watch a Spike Lee joint because he's so much of a talented director and artiste that he gets to call his movies joints because that's what they are. And Black Klansman was an amazing film, still very prominent to these days. Like, it was talking about the Black movement, the Black Panthers, the political movement and atmosphere of the early 60s and 70s, right after the civil rights movement, how people were still trying to adjust to, a post-segregated world and stuff like that. And that film was it was over the top, aggression in your face with it. The political commentary is still very prevalent. The swearing is over the top like you'd expect. It's very in your face, but it's so well done. The actors in that film, I have to give them so much credit. John David Washington as the lead character. Denzel Washington was in that film, I believe. And who's the guy who plays in Star Wars, the new trilogy, who plays
yes, he's the other dude. Oh my god, his nose.
Who plays Kylo Ren? I forgot his name.
Yeah, the one who plays Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Real quick.
Adam Driver.
Yes.
All love to Adam Driver. Like, he did a great job in the way that his character played off John Washington's character off Ron Stallworth. Both of them together were something special. I loved it. The homegirl in there, Laura Harrier, I think she played the love interest for Ron Stallworth, and they're so good. And Topher Grace, all right, him playing David Duke was something else. Like, he really made David Duke look like the overzealous racist asshole that he still is to these days. Like, I don't like getting political, but Black Klansman was such a unique film and so well done. You have to watch this movie. Like, honestly, it is one of the few films that I will absolutely recommend because of how it was done. The music, the visionary aspect of it, the whole political commentary, just it's something special. And that's partly because of the visionary aspect of Spike Lee. Like, Spike Lee is one of the true artists when it comes to directors still nowadays.
Yeah, man, that's big facts about that. Is it still in theaters? Because I really want to see it.
I don't. I think it's out.
It is at Redbox. You can go rent it right now.
Yeah, I miss it.
And see, the reason I did not watch it because the themes of the movie hit a little bit too close to home. And the whole premise of it, yeah, the purpose of this movie is like the way he's the black dude. He's talking to the phone to David. Dude, his voice convinces him that he's a white man. He's a cultured man. That he has this response. But and I don't know if y'all figured this out before, but I'm a black female, and as a growing up, we call it basically it was your white person voice, and you had to learn how to talk with it. And I have to use that voice during my day at work, and I just didn't want to have to go see that and have to see somebody else do that in that movie. I understand what it's about, and I even read up on the real life, because this is based on a true story. I read up on the man who actually did this, and his story is fascinating. The whole story behind how all this took place, it is very fascinating. So if you don't want to watch the movie, at least go read up on the gentleman who actually did this. And I need to see it, but I just didn't want to put myself through that. So maybe one day when I'm feeling like, I want to slap a bitch, I'll go watch that movie.
I completely understand, especially for you, Charisse. And like I said, and I said this on past shows, Smash here, we are multicultural, we're diverse. I was like, we have such a wide group of people who come on the show. I've had plenty, of the people I know in the community who are white. We have, of course, Operation here and Charisse and King David and others who have come on who represent the our black friends who watch anime, who are nerds or blurs, as they've also called themselves and stuff like that. Me being native and Spanish descent, we have a diverse, Neth on here is Indian. We are very diverse cast. And I can understand when some of these films, while we rave about them, are a little hard for a lot of people. And again, like I said, I don't like to get political when I don't need to, but this is one of those films that has such a strong presence that I really do recommend it. And for Charisse, for you, I know how you feel about it, especially because of the fact that this takes place, I believe, in Georgia, right where you're from. This was a lot of your area.
Oh, it still goes on today. It's still, like again, with the hair, when your Afro texture hair, I have a lady at work told me if I straighten up my hair, I'd be respected more. I have to dress a certain way. It's really like you have to put on this extra, present yourself a different way to be taken serious. And it got to a point when I'm like, fuck it. Hey, I earned this position. I'm going to work this position. And if you don't like it, you can get the hell on. My boss supports me, so hey, I was good. So they just gonna have to take it and leave.
Yeah, for some people, it gets to a point you have to pretty much put on like a facade, become a whole different person, just to be able to function in the work environment. Like me personally, I never experienced that myself, but like because I am African American, like this history that's part of my history. Like some stuff I've read up on, seen other people experience, so I know I'm at least aware of it. So yeah, Black Klansman is one of those. It really does hit close to home. Like for me, I understand your position, Charisse, because like, 7 years of slavery? I couldn't do it. I'm tired of slavery movies. Like I know about the history. I don't know everything about it because there's still more I have to learn about it. But I'm done with slavery movies. There's too many of them. You don't tell the same story, but like I know the gist of it. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I can't. Like I can't do those movies either. I can't. Everybody raised about 12 years a slave. Refused to watch
12 years slave. I'm not trying to disrespect the movie, but
and then he had Roots with the story of Kunta Kinte.
Oh my God, no! If you're gonna watch Roots, don't watch the one that came out with a couple of years ago. Watch the one that came out in the 70s. That shit make you want to beat somebody's ass.
Oh yes, yes it does.
Yeah, or better yet, read the book.
Yeah, but I just felt like for those who really kind of want to open their eyes a little bit to seeing how things, because it also ties to what happened and unfortunately, I don't like to bring up this aspect when it happens with tragedies, but what happened with the Charlottesville protest about a year ago, that Spike Lee does, bring up that aspect, because of the fact that a lot of what happened there does tie into what was still happening back then, because David Duke did still have a presence. He's still very much alive. He did speak out about it. He is very, still white supremacist. And it kind of shows where history really shows the ugly side of things. And, I have to say, again, it is hard for a lot of people to go into this film and watch that and kind of, especially who have to live with it, especially you, Charisse, hearing what your experiences with everything. But I do want to say that Spike Lee's aspect of wanting to keep putting this in a in your face style and not hold back and really show people what's still going on. You have to give that man respect for that. Is that there's so many people who would shy away from that kind of content. He does it. He goes right into it full-headed, face first. He doesn't hold anything back, and he lets people know what it is. And that's the kind of stuff that sometimes it needs to be talked about. Like I said, here on the channel, here where with Smash and everything that I do, it's all love. I've always said that everything here is all love amongst everyone that comes out here. And these are one of those things that, you should be able to talk about and not feel like anyone's going to judge you about. And the people who kind of put that out there deserve the respect that they get. And Spike Lee is definitely one of those directors that have earned that props,
Yeah, he's a good one. His older stuff, like, I grew up watching Spike Lee. Crooklyn, she's gotta have it.
I mean, he did old, Malcolm X, she's got to have it, so many older ones. Yeah, she's got to have it was one. Do the Right Thing was another one. What else? The Sweat of Blood, the Sweet Blood of Jesus, Jungle Fever, all those.
He has a long list of credits. Like we can go all day talking about Spike Lee joints.
Oh, absolutely.
This is one I have not. I know I need to see it. I just not have brought myself to do it. But maybe in the new year, when I'm again folding up clothes and need something in the background, I will put it in and watch it.
I would definitely do it. Like I said, he does it. He handles the story in a very funny manner. The action is where it is. It gets serious where it needs to be, but it does have the humor and lightheartedness that you would expect out of Spike Lee, but seriousness and action where it needs to be as well. But I would definitely say for anyone who watches this film, please do prepare yourself for it. Like I said, it is going to go into heavy topics. And again, this is a part of history. The thing about history that people need to remember is that and again, I don't like it heavy into politics, but when you do go into it, I want everyone to know you can't shy away from history. Learning from our past is what makes us better for the future. This was a dark side of American history, especially, and this happened globally. It wasn't just America, but the fact is, when you look at the history, seeing what was happened, and can view that and be like, we can be better than that. That's what it's trying to convey. It's when you try to hide from the history of what we did before, that's bad. If you can't look at and be like, oh yeah, we messed up back then, that's when things get worse. That's when you get the whole, alternative facts or, fake news and that propaganda where we try to hide everything kind of stuff. We don't want that. We have to be better at that.
Yeah.
And okay. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I don't want to get too heavy on the political side because we still got quite a bit to talk about here. I think
you know that right. You know that perfectly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I think for the last movies of the year that I really want to bring up is Bohemian Rhapsody, right? To go on a lighter note, Bohemian Rhapsody, for fans of old school rock, like me, I grew up with my uncle playing music from the 70s, the 80s, and everyone nowadays from my generation and even younger, everyone knows Queen. Everyone knows We Will Rock You. Everyone knows We Are the Champions. Everyone has heard Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, this film is a little bit of a stylized biography of Freddie Mercury's life with the formation of Queen. And I have to say, this film is something special because the actor who plays Freddie, he's the same actor who plays the main character and Mr. Robot. I can't think of the name off his head. Do you know Op? Do you know Charisse?
I know of him, but I can't his name.
I think
I need to look it up real quick because I forgot his name. It just
Rami Malek. Rami Malek. That's
there he goes.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, weird. Yeah, because he's cute, but he looks weird with it.
Yeah, but yeah, Rami Malek. Oh my God! And in this film, he has the very boisterous and very flamboyant and airy nature about him with the way that he portrays Freddie Mercury. And I love it. He really encapsulated what made Freddie Mercury such a personality that made him so beloved, and the way that he performed and the way that he sang and everything that portrayed him as him. And you know me, I am a absolute fan of music. I've gone to so many concerts. I hang out with musicians. I simply love music and I love films. I'm a nerd, everything you want. And I was like, in this film, if you really want to live the life of Queen and see them in a very stylized version, again, this is stylized, while it does have a lot of aspects because it was interviews and stories given by the rest of the band, minus Freddie, because for those who may not know, he passed away due to AIDS back in the 90s. But it really does kind of show where his thought process and what made him the driving force that he was to make Queen such the, you know, international name and juggernaut that they are. What put them in everyone's CD player and everyone's mouth and everyone's ears, what made them be able to recognize a Queen song immediately and be able to start singing as soon as they hear that first note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about you, Op? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I haven't had a chance to see the movie, but you're really definitely on money, man. Like, from what I've seen, like clips of it I've seen on the internet and whatnot, they really did capture Freddie Mercury pretty much perfectly, like 1-to-1 in the depiction of the movie. So I'm really excited to see it. I heard there's like this one scene, like some big ass orgy or something. Shit. I don't know. That kind of turned me out, but like, yeah, I can get past it.
Well, you know, well, I mean, to be fair, to be fair, Freddie Mercury played both sides of the fence, so you can't hate the man.
Yeah. All right. I'm more of his lifestyle. Yeah. It doesn't bother me at all. But you know, I'm gonna watch the movie. I ain't gonna let that stop me. That'd be silly. But yeah, you pretty much said all the heavy stuff in the movie, man. Like they pretty much capture Freddie Mercury well. For me, like it's gonna be a dope movie. But I'll give it to Sharice what she has to say about it.
I'm going to let you know, I probably will not watch the movie. I don't know why. Queen, everybody loves Queen. I personally could take it or leave it. It's just a song they play at basketball games to me.
Oh no!
Like I know the history behind him and everything, but I just don't care to watch it on the screen. So I'm glad that his movie is getting well received, and the actor who's playing the main role, I'm hearing very well things about the role. I just don't care to see it. So do you, boo? Yeah, have fun with that.
There you go. She said, "You do you," and go with that.
Go with that.
And of course, to end up the year, I do have to mention Aquaman. Just like you, Aquaman did an amazing job. Okay, Aquaman is the start of DC's comeback. We've been on this show multiple times and we've made fun of DC, and not because we hate DC. Let's get that straight. We don't hate DC. We've all read the comics. If you know our boy Soul King, if you follow him on Twitter, we call him the king of comics, just like I'm the king of anime, because he goes out and buys comics every week and he gets so many DC comics. He was the one who told us about the Dark Metal event when that was going on with DC Comics and everything about that as it was happening. We love comics. We just love everything about superheroes, right? The thing is, the DC movies have been very hit or miss or laughable at worst. And Justice League, while we enjoyed Justice League, it was still laughable when you tried to rewatch that film, right?
I haven't even rewatched it. I'm so scared too.
Yeah, no, it's
better not to. Suicide Squad. It's better not to. Just leave the good aspects of how you felt the first time around. I'll say that much. Again, nothing. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have very good ones. The best thing about the whole movie was at the end when Bruce was like, "Oh, how did you get the house back?" About the bank, and I was like, "Oh, super bad ship, got it, done."
Y'all wild. No. I still don't
She said the best part was the end of the movie. Oh no.
For me, like only DC movie I really didn't like was Suicide Squad. That's because I was a stan when they first showed that first trailer, like really serious, really gritty. I was like, yeah, I'm with this shit. They showed a second trailer, like, oh yeah, we heard people like the joke, so we reshot 60% of the movie and made it funny. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. Give back my old movie. I want the original back. And that's why I went to that movie biased, because I couldn't enjoy it for myself.
Yeah. But
Suicide Squad would have been good if we didn't know if those were just random characters and were not people that we knew from the comics. If those were just random people who just got together, that would have been an excellent movie. But since we had previous history with them, that movie was shit.
From Suicide Squad?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, that was definitely how it was. And I was like, but don't get me wrong, some of the characters were well done. Like El Diablo, I really liked Rick Flag's character. He was really well done. But I didn't like how they handled Enchantress too much. You know, they really made Captain Boomerang into a joke.
Yep.
Let's not even get started on Killer Croc. You know, they made the homie like a regular street thug, and I don't respect that because Killer Croc is more than that.
Again, so if they was regular people and then we didn't have any backstory on them, that movie would have been lit as hell. But because we knew where these people come from and who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be capable of, that movie was ass.
It really was. Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna to kind of get through this a little bit quicker so we can talk about a few of the things coming up. Creed 2, I loved it because, again, boxing fan, I really love the way that they closed up a lot of the loopholes or the open-ended storylines from the original Rocky films, as well as how they tied up the New Boys storyline with everything and how it all tied together. Really great. Definitely movies that I want to make as honorable mentions throughout the year that I haven't seen that I want to see. Into the Spider-Verse, I'm going to see that here soon. Definitely talk about that. Bumblebee, I'm going to absolutely be talking about that because I've heard nothing but good things about the Bumblebee film as a right way to do the Transformers for fans, especially to our boy Mega, who's a Transformers fanatic. I'm not even going to say fan. No, he is a pure fanatic for Transformers. So he knows all about that. Of course, shout out to the Iron Lords with Cognito and David. They grew up with the original Transformers, so this movie's for them. Other movies I wanted to mention, the new Girl in the Spider's Web, a new dragon tattoo story. If you haven't seen that series, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Girl Who Played with Fire, all that really great foreign films, French films especially, as they're based on French novels. I heard that one was a really good story, a lot of action, really dark as much as you would expect. Of course, Op, you mentioned it earlier, was Incredibles 2. For those who haven't seen it, definitely well worth it. And the other big one I want to mention is Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. I've heard nothing but good things about that film as well. So
when did Ralph drop, or has it dropped yet?
That came out that came out in November.
Okay, yeah, I gotta see that one. I love the first one. That first one hit me in the feels, especially at the end while Ralph was like doing a dive bomb with the volcano. Like, bro, that little speech he gave, I can't remember word from word, but man, I was about to tear up in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that movie was something absolutely special. Now, since we got all of how we felt about 2018 out of the way, I do want to bring up a couple animes in 2019 that I'm definitely excited for. And I want to kind of get what everyone else is looking forward to in the new year. And Charisse, I want to start with you. Is there anything that you've heard about or any specific particular animes that you are looking forward to in 2019 that you have heard that have been announced that you're wanting to see?
I have not heard any anime because, again, I haven't looked any yet. But what I am, which is going to go back to DC for a moment, forgive me, Bloody. But Young Justice season 3.
Yo,
yes,
it dropped yesterday. The first 3 episodes dropped yesterday, and I literally snuck away on my lunch break and watched the first 2. And I literally was like, "Oh my god, I love all of this." Black Lightning
is not a kids show anymore. It is not a kids show anymore. I'm saying
right
now for everybody.
Thank you. Like
they got rid of that
this shit is straight up.
Oh my
god. I'm waiting for them to start dropping the F-bomb left and right on this shit. Like this, like Young Justice is lit. Like I don't care.
Are we expecting an animated Titans TV show? I don't like that. I don't like that silence. I don't like that silence.
Well, you like Titans?
Okay. Did you watch the Titans live action show?
I am watching it right now because I waited for that show to be finished so that way I can binge it all in 1 week with that free week. Because I'm not
Titans.
feeling the. Yeah, I'll finish it.
Glorious. Glorious.
I have so many like questions and comments on this show. I'm not gonna. I enjoyed it. Now I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the trailer, when I first saw the little photos that came out, I'm like, this is a hot booty mess. I want them to give Starfire a better wig. Why she looking like a high price hooker? I was like, I was going in. I'm not even gonna lie.
As a sister.
But as I started watching the show, I was like, oh my god, they fixed her wig. She looked like a hot escort. She only fuck with politicians and shit. I like that. And then Dick, he needs some therapy. I'm not gonna lie. The whole entire Bat family need therapy. We just go ahead and put that out there. I enjoyed Titans. I really did. I'm looking forward to the rest of the DC streaming shows. Because I think they got Doom Patrol coming out. Mm-hmm. What else? They're doing something like a Swamp Thing or some shit. I don't even know. But they got like a whole list of shows coming out this year. I fucked with DC Universe. I fucked with them.
All right. That's good. That's good to hear. That's good news. That's definitely. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. All right. What about you? What are you looking forward to in 2019 when it comes to anime or TV shows? What are you hyped about?
Well, of course, the rest of Young Justice season 3 because that show is lit.
Yes.
Like they already set the bar for the show going forward. These first 3 episodes, and I'm mad because Soul King said they dropped all of it on DC Universe. Like, oh shit, they finally doing a whole thing. I got there. I see 3 episodes available. I'm like, bro,
3 episodes. I was so pissed when I saw that.
I'm about to fight that man. Because I was so excited, but it's all right. They got me used to it. I'm Titan, so well, we're just gonna have to do it again. After that, I'm a little bit worried about One Punch Man. I'm going there, guys. I'm sorry, but like some of the changes they made with some of the characters is a little off-putting. It's just a smidge. It's not gonna keep me from watching the show, but I'm just a little bit worried. Like with the changes they made with King and there's another character that made it was weird. King was the most one to stand out. Genos was fine. Saitama, he's all right. There's someone else I can't remember they showed that it just bothered me a little bit, but yeah, I'm not sure why they changed the art style. Maybe because that's easier for Studio Bones or the other studios take over right now. I can't forget which one is working on the new season right now. Bloody,
the new season of Young Justice.
No, from One Punch Man.
Oh, Young Justice. For One Punch Man, it went from Madhouse to I believe it's
Studio Bones, right?
Yeah, Studio Bones.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah, maybe that's the art style or that animation is easier for them, whatever. But I can't judge the show until I watch it. After that, there's of course My Hero that comes out in the fall. So I know y'all are excited for that. Anime only they're excited for that one. It's going really good because the art coming up so far is the best art out there. Like the stuff that takes place in our art, man, you're gonna be balling. Like y'all gonna be crying.
No, it's not Studio Bones. It's JC Staff. JC Staff is doing the new studio. My bad.
Okay.
I thought it was JC Staff. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, I don't know why I thought about Bones, but all right. But yeah, so far that's all I can think of as far as like stuff I'm looking forward to in the year. Of course, there's gonna be more that eventually pop back in my memory.
Yeah. But I gotta say, for me personally, 2019 has me excited because one, I have a full list of animes returning as well as new ones that are gonna be coming out in 2019. But that's not even mentioning the movies that were gonna come out this year. And I'm gonna mention a few of the movies first. And the first movies I want to mention is specifically I want to mention Captain Marvel. Because one, we're finally getting a second. Okay, I'm gonna say second, but first Marvel dedicated female heroine film. But not only that, but we're getting the strongest female heroine in the Marvel universe with Captain Marvel. That literally, this character is so powerful. She is the reason that the cosmic universe is as it is in the Marvel universe, and she takes over for Captain America as leader of the Avengers after he dies. then comes back and then leaves. You know, she is that foundation for the Avengers, and I'm glad to see her finally getting her stand on the big screen. And I'm absolutely in love with Brie Larson. She is a sweetheart. I love the way she looks. They're doing a lot right. I'm really looking forward to this film. Of course, I'm also looking forward to Endgame because I want to know what we were right about after Infinity War and everything else that we've been talking about for the past year. I know we're all waiting for it, and I honestly cannot wait. We're already seeing, at least I'm seeing my theory of what's going to be coming next for the big event, with everything from the Fox universe and what's left of the MCU with the X-Men and everything else, and what people are and what is being said that is wanting to be done. Everything that I've been theorizing since we saw Infinity War as having a lot of foundation and base, which I just want to be proven right. I don't care if it's years from now. I'm going to look back and say, I called it back then, and I'm still right now. I will wait the 5-10 years to say I fucking called it, because Secret Wars is going to be the foundation that ties everything together, and I want them to do it because it also allows them to do X-Men versus Avengers and everything else. But that's what I'm looking forward to with Marvel. We don't know what's going to be coming afterwards. Supposedly, we're supposed to be having Spider-Man Far From Home. I still don't know if that's the official title, which I still don't believe, because I know how Marvel is about letting the boy, when it comes to having secrets, because of how bad he is about leaking stuff. I don't know if they let him leak the title like the way he did. And I love the young boy who's playing the new Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland. Don't get me wrong. I was like, he's the same age as me and Op, but I don't think they would give him the script for it with the name of the film and then let him kind of, show that off on Instagram or wherever he posted it up. I think they're better. But as far as we know, it's still called. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will let him show it off, and everyone would run with it. That's the title, and then pull out, something totally different.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know them when it comes to leaks. They're very on top of things. So it had to be calculated on what they were doing. But as far as we know, supposedly Far From Home is going to be coming out this year. And then, of course, Shazam, the Shazam film, I'm looking forward to this year because Shazam is definitely has my attention. They're going back to the old school Shazam, very hilarious, over the top, it has its good action, but, it's a lighthearted film because Shazam is Billy Batson. He's a 12-year-old teen, he's a kid who's living the fantasy of what a kid would do if he had the powers of a superhero, It's one of those films that I feel like DC started to hit their stride after Aquaman, and I'm really hoping this continues with Shazam because I already have high hopes for Zachary Levi. I feel him a lot as Shazam, and I was like, I want to see that on the screen and see how that plays out. But as for the rest of the films, we don't know much of what else is coming out this year, but there are a few films I do want to mention, and the biggest one right now is for anime films, especially Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, for those who don't know, was made by the same studio that Attack on Titan. And Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress is basically Attack on Titan, but with trains and zombies in a steampunk world, and nicknamed Attack on Train. But don't let that fool you. It is not bad. It is really good. Attack on Train is great. I mean, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress is great.
Okay.
And the great thing about this film is that it's going to pick up right exactly where the first season left off. So if you haven't seen it, you definitely should check it out. It really is well done. It has the action that you would want. It's gory. It has drama. It's just a really well done series. And I'm really looking forward to the film because I don't know if it's getting a second season, but this movie is picking up directly where the cliffhanger at the end of the first season left off. So I'm glad it is at least getting a continuation. So I'm really looking forward to that for the year. Also, real quick, speaking about anime films, something I forgot to mention about 2018 real quick. I'm going to throw back here. The My Hero film, amazing, simply phenomenal. It's coming out in March. on Blu-ray. If you did not see it in theaters, go get this film. If you're a My Hero fan, you want to do this because it will get you. The animation is amazing. And one moment, I'm just gonna say DDS. And when you relive that moment on what I'm saying, you'll understand what DDS stands for, and it will just make you happy. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's what's up,
but yeah, seriously, I have to put that out there. I'm going to buy the Blu-ray as soon as it goes on sale, without a doubt. As like, I love that film. I saw that movie 3 times while it was in theaters. For the 1 week that it was in, I saw it 3 different times. And I have no shame in supporting that film. It was so good.
Oh no, man, no shame at all, bro. This is My Hero, bro. Come on now, you gotta support that. But real quick,
exactly. It was My Hero
movies. I just remember John Wick 3 and Toy Story. Was it 4 or 5? I can't remember how many dance Toy Stories there are. Is it the 5th one they're doing right now?
Toy Story 4 is coming out. It's being worked on right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those as well. John Wick 3, I love that franchise they're doing so far because I wasn't expecting much at first, but like he blew me away the first one. Second one topped the first one. I didn't think that was possible. This third one is gonna be lit. And Toy Story 4, I love the Toy Story franchise. It's gonna be great too.
Oh yeah, Toy Story always hits you in the feels. But now that I got the movies out of the way, anime's coming in 2019. I have a list here, and we're going to go through them because there's a lot of returning ones as well as some new ones coming up, stuff that I've mentioned in the past, but I want to go into again because this year is just already so packed with such heavy-hitting returners and newcomers. It's going to be a hell of a year. And for returning shows, a surprise that came out from Jump Festa at the end of December, which is the big festival from Shonen Jump where they make some announcements of what's coming for their manga as well as any sort of things that they're working with. The biggest surprise announcement that had me the most excited, Haikyuu. Haikyuu was announced for a 4th season. If you don't know about Haikyuu, it is the shonen series about the volleyball team that is just simply so good. Look, if you don't like sports animes, I'm telling you, Haikyuu's something special because of the fact that it's not flashy, it's not over the top. It's legitimately a well-done sports anime that just hits you because of the fact that it's about an underdog team and what they do to grow in the most legitimate way. It shows their training, their dedication, and everything. It's just so well done. And after the cliffhanger at the end of season 3, a lot of people didn't know if it was going to get a continuation with an anime. And when they announced season 4, the amount of excitement I saw coming from Jump Fest that had people excited. I was excited because I didn't think that it would ever get a 4th season because we've seen how many shows never get a 2nd or 3rd season later on. No Game, No Life. Log Horizon. Okay. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Okay. But Haikyuu. Okay. Yeah, I had something in my throat.
Okay, let's go with that.
But Haikyuu getting a 4th season just, oh my God, it made me so happy that it's finally getting a continuation. And it has me so excited that it's coming out this year alone. So honestly, if you haven't seen Haikyuu, please go check it out. Trust me. I know how people feel about sports. It's either you're into it or not. But a lot of the sports animes, some of them hit very, special spots. Look at Yuri on Ice became a phenomenon because one that handled Yuri on Ice. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yuri on Ice was a special anime because it handled ice skating. A lot of people were just like, oh, an anime about ice skating, this is going to be dumb. But it did it very well. It became the theme song of that show was what the Japanese performed their ice skating routine at the Olympics, right? And it handled a story about a homosexual character in such a well-done manner that a lot of people fell in love with it. I love the story of Yuri. Honestly, it was so good.
Yeah. I'm so I love that show. That was my ringtone for like 6 months. I loved it. I rewatch episodes. The whole when he got drunk and was swinging on the pole at the end credits. I loved it, dude.
Yes. Awesome. Oh, exactly. Exactly what I'm talking about. Yuri on Ice was something special. Like I said, sports animes hit a very special spot. Look at people who don't know anything about cycling yet. People love Uwamashi Pedal. It's all about a cycling team. Kuroko's basketball. A lot of people like that one because it makes basketball look like a battle shonen, right? That one's very special. Haikyuu hits a very special. There's Welcome to the Ballroom, a sports anime about competitive ballroom dancing that a lot of people fell in love with when it came out. There are so many out there for sports animes. Megalobox is another one. Prince of Tennis for old school. Hajime no Ippo for again boxing fans. Like, sports animes have come out, and then if you want to get on the looter side, you have Kaijo, about the girls who do the like butt wrestling on the water pads, which I enjoyed. There's one currently out right now about girls who do beach volleyball. That one's out there, and for particular reasons. but still anime titties. But as it is, sports animes have hit a certain spot, and I'm glad to see that that they're getting the prevalency that they deserve for some of them, and that some of them are getting brought back. And Haikyuu was one of those ones that truly does deserve it, and I'm glad that they're finally getting a new season to continue where it left off. I know I'm the only one who's excited for this, but honestly, if you haven't seen Haikyuu, please go watch it. You will not be disappointed. Honestly, the way that the team is handled and everything else, it will honestly hit you in such a very, very special spot when it comes to sports. Everyone has sports that they watch and stuff that they don't. This one will get you in your heart. It'll hit you right where you want it to hit you.
Yeah, like you pretty much are only found that on here, but who doesn't like their favorite story, their favorite anime get renewed for another season, seeing that story continue on, get more expanded, get more fleshed out, get more expanded. So some people not be able to relate. It's still a good thing overall because it shows that they see the fan base, they see the dedicated fan base there are for these shows, and it's showing that they actually believe in them to do another season for them well. So it's a good thing overall for everybody.
Exactly, it is a great thing, and I'm really happy that Haikyuu's coming back, and it really is for those fans who want it. I'm glad that they're getting it because it's just one of those things that it's sad when a series never gets continued, especially when it leaves off in such a manner. So I'm really glad that this is getting continued. So for the sports fans, for the Haikyuu fans out there, this is coming out for you guys for this year. So be happy, be excited, because it's definitely something worth being excited for. Now, other shows coming out this year, two big ones that everyone's been waiting for. Mob Psycho season 2 literally starts tomorrow. So if you liked Mob Psycho and the over-the-top nature of espers and supernatural abilities and a boy who just wants to be normal, and everything that one does, Mob Psycho season 2 starts tomorrow here for the winter season. I'm looking forward to it. I love the first season. I'm really excited for the second one. It's just, I love it. I really do love it. Mob is such a hilarious character. Reagan is over the top. I love Reagan. He makes me laugh. And just the fact that it follows a boy who lives in an extraordinary world and he wants to be as normal as can be. He wants to live the most drab life ever. And I think that when you do the opposite of, an extraordinary character living in a normal world, and you do a normal character living in an extraordinary world, I think that kind of humor just amplifies. It's easy to tell a story of an extraordinary character who lives in a normal world. Look at Superman. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But what about when you put a character who's extraordinary but wants to be normal in an extraordinary world? It's a special type of humor and story that just amplifies, and I think Mob Psycho personifies that well. And I'm really looking forward to the second season. What about you guys?
Well, I never started the show because the premise of it was
Fraud.
Really feeling it.
I'm sorry that came out.
I mean, you already know this, so I don't know why you acted surprised. But one of these days, I'll actually give it a try because you already know I got to expand my portfolio. I got to knock some of these older animes off the list. So since the second season's about to drop tomorrow, like you just said, it'll be a good time to try to squeeze it in at my very small list of anime I'm watching right now. Just see how it is.
Stop rewatching One Piece for the third time, damn it.
Hold on. I don't rewatch shows, especially One Piece. No, I'll reread a manga, but rewatch a show, no, I don't do that.
Oh, that's even worse.
Nah, I need to read.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It needs better.
I will read Sailor Moon for the 15th dozen time this year.
I'm
Let me have
My Hero right now.
If you're gonna watch Sailor Moon, you might as well rewatch or watch Crystal because Crystal does an amazing job. I've watched Crystal and
love Crystal. I'm hoping news of the movie that they're supposed to do the next season as a movie. It's supposed to be a 2-part movie, but I have not heard nothing about it.
I'm waiting. But I love Sailor Moon because they handle my LGBT characters in such a beautiful way because everyone on there is sexually fluid.
Oh my god, like it's so I ship like so many different ships on that show in that series. And it depends. Like, if I read the books, I have different ships. If I'm watching the show, I have different ships. It's like I love it. I love it. I love it.
See, this is why I like you, Sharice. You my girl. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like I was watching it with my daughter, the old one, the 90s one for like the dozenth time. And my daughter was watching it with me, of course. And she was like, so is Uranus, is she a boy or girl? And I was like, it depends on what she feels like that day. And she was like, okay, cool, I can dig that. And I was like, cool. So we had that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, she's not wrong though. Uranus is probably is the most fluid character. Yeah. Like legitimately.
And so that's
See, Op is quiet right now. He's like, shit. He's like, I can't say nothing on this. I'm not gonna say a damn word.
Cause I want no part of his weirdness. Y'all got it. I'm gonna sit here and sit
Hey, whoa.
It's not weird. I will cut you.
Exactly.
That's why I cut him before. It's all the same to me.
He said, cut me. I will take that.
You want to know what's weird? Like again, I'm a Moonie. I have been a Moonie since I saw this show back in the day on Cartoon Network. So when I was in college, again, how old I was, I found the 90s comp books and bought them off eBay for way more than I should have paid for. And then when they re-released it for the 20th anniversary, I rebought them again. And now they have re-released them for a third time for the 25th anniversary. And I'm rebuying them again.
That sounds about right. I'm about to buy the box set of the 25th anniversary Blu-rays for Yu Yu Hakusho. I feel you.
Oh my god! And I just finished watching that series like a couple of months ago. My rewatch. I love that show.
I just rewatched it like last month with my roommate as I played games at night. He was watching it, and we rewatched the whole series. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray for the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
No shame. No shame.
None at all. Shame. None at all.
Yep. You already know. See, you need to step your game up. She got more cred than you right now.
Yeah, that sounds like sexism to me because you're trying to make it seem like it's a big issue that she reads more than me.
Honestly, at this point, I think my daughter has more credit than he has.
Oh, damn!
Ageism too. Okay, we're going all the way tonight.
Yeah, we are. That's how we're gonna start the year with Op getting a big broad L.
I mean,
it's all right though. Wait, he's in college though, so we gotta, give him.
Man, no excuses. I'm just lazy.
See, he accepts it with gratitude. At least he could take it like a man.
That's good. Taking his strides.
All right. That's all I asked for. You take it like a champ. You a good boy.
You still ain't shit.
Now, the second show from One that everyone's been waiting for years for is, of course, OPM. One Punch Man Season 2 is coming out this year in April. And I gotta say, I'm excited for this. For everyone who's read the webcomic and everything of the series, some people like it, some people don't, because the webcomic is very much a Monster of the Week style story. It can get kind of played out over time with that aspect. And, the fight scenes, while they're great, are very much still frames, and not a lot of people are digging that, but a lot of people are really looking forward to what's going to be done in season 2. I'm really looking forward to what JC Staff does with the animation and what they're going to do with the story. So I know I'm all hyped for this. Sharice, have you watched One Punch Man?
I have, and honestly, I keep on seeing that the new season is coming out, but I'm not really gonna believe it till it shows up on my TV. I think I waited too long. I probably need to rewatch the series, the first season, to just refresh my memory and everything, because it was when did this first come out? It's been at least 2-3 years.
In 2017, I believe it dropped 2017, or was it before that?
I think it was before that.
I believe it came out back 2013.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it came out a while back.
Damn.
And so I didn't ever think they were gonna do a second season, and I was politely surprised when it popped up on my list of news feed that it was coming out. But so I'm not gonna jinx it until it actually shows up on my TV. But I am pleasantly surprised that it was announced. I will be checking it out. Hopefully, it keeps the same style of writing. I hope the animation is somewhat the same. I hope it brings me the same feels I had the first time I watched it. How about that?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Now, what else is coming out that's a returning show is one that me and Op are most definitely hyped for. And Sharice, I don't know if you are, but if you are, please say so. My Hero. Season 4 got pushed back from April to October. Heartbreaking, but Op, you and Soul and G all read the manga. I refuse to out of principle because I want to be surprised and enjoy it as the story comes out.
You can be surprised and enjoy it before it comes out. The manga too.
Yeah, but season 4 got pushed back to October. But I'm looking forward to it because Op, you and Soul and G have all said in our group chat that this story arc is going to be the story arc that is going to put My Hero in everyone's household, that everyone's going to talk about the show. It's already a global phenomenon, but this is going to make it a staple name, just like Dragon Ball. That you said this arc is going to put this series and solidify it as one of the top shonens. Is that not what you have been saying?
Oh yeah, that's definitely what I'm saying. Like y'all, everybody went crazy over the last season with One for All versus All Might. The fight you're gonna see, like the big fight in this next arc, it destroys the last one. I'll stamp my name on that right now. It destroys the last one. Not only with the stakes it has, but the emotional impact it has on it as well. Everything is building up to it as well. It's a glorious payoff. And unfortunately, y'all have to wait until October to experience it instead of reading the damn manga because y'all lazy.
I'm perfectly fine with that because I want to be surprised because I can't wait to see my boy Lemillion in action because I love Mirio. And I knew about Lemillion before season 3, and I already guessed what he was roughly capable of doing. And G was mad at me. He's like, man, you don't want to be spoiled, and yet you already know everything that's coming. I was like, I can't help it. I just know things.
But yeah.
Sharice, are you excited for the new My Hero?
No, I am not.
Oh my.
No.
My. Yishigalis, I want to hear this one.
Honestly, you want to hear the truth? I haven't watched it. I know, right? Just like, here, I'll smack myself for you.
Vaguely understandable.
I haven't, and the reason I'm gonna give you a legit reason. It just did not appeal. It didn't look good to me. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch it. And I'm like, I watched the first episode or two, and I'm like, what is this? And I never went back to it.
I would say, honestly, the first 2 episodes are one episode, and it does take to the second and third episode to really for this one to pick up. But like the first episode, I got interested in it, but the ending of the second episode with it closing off that first bit, literally that ending had me bawling because it literally encompassed what I had felt as a kid growing up and what I had and wished for. So honestly, I really do say this is one of those ones for a lot of people to do the 3-episode rule for, because once you get to the end of the second episode and start episode 3, it really does start to hit you, and it picks up from there so quickly, and it really encompasses you in the story.
Yeah, to be honest, I was the same way when I first heard about My Hero. My friend, it was in high school. He told me about, bro, you gotta watch this. It's basically the Japanese version of superheroes and Marvel comics, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's probably weird as shit. Nah, bro, watch it. 3 years later, I did not watch that shit until then, and I finally came around to it. So, like Blaze said, 3-episode rule. If you're not into it at that point, it's best not to be bothered with it. Just don't touch it. I
gave it like 1.5, maybe 2.
You halfway.
I'm halfway there. Mm-hmm. So now I got to go back and rewatch this episode so I can remember what the hell's going on, get the character straight.
Yeah.
But everybody and their mama is watching this shit though.
Oh yeah.
Because it really is one of those ones. Like I said, the main character fits a lot of what people wish when it comes to superheroes. Like I said, Shazam has that power fantasy of what it is to be a superhero. My Hero does the same thing, and they do it. And like the way that Horikoshi writes the story, it really does hit home in that aspect of kids wanting to be a superhero and that dream of, you know, when you can't do what everyone else does, you know, it hurts, that truth. But what happens when you get that one glint of, you know, it's possible to be what you've always dreamed of being, you know, it hits you in that heart about that feeling, and then it just runs from there. It really does. That's why I absolutely recommend giving it a second chance. I absolutely do. If you can't get through it the second time around, getting through those 3 episodes, then I would say that the show's not for you. And as much as it would suck, I completely understand. Not every show in every genre is for legitimately, like, not every show in every genre is for everyone. Like, me and you can probably talk about more looter shows and ecchi style stuff, like, you know, High School DxD or, you know, High School of the Dead, you know, because they have titties bouncing all over the place. But, you know, those but honestly, those shows don't.
I'm watching for the story now. The story.
Lines.
Yeah, you're going for the plot, not the plot. But legitimately though, you could probably watch those stories, enjoy the visuals, but still catch the story. But for someone like Op, you know, I've talked to Op. Sometimes it's hard for him to get past some of the fan service in certain shows. Other times, not so much. You know,
it can be. I enjoy it if it's written into the story as much as it is. Like if it's just there just to be there. Like after a couple of episodes, I like just stop.
Yeah, for me, like
it's why I don't like Lucy from Fairy Tail, because she's there for sexual harassment, not even the fun kind. Yeah. She's just literally there just because she's literally just there because she's blonde and has got big tits. That's it. She's not even the fun kind of any other use to Natsu other than that one aspect.
Okay, we're gonna leave her alone because we're hoping she grow up a little bit.
That if you've watched the last season, no. Well, seeing as we're on the final season, there ain't been much change. No, it's too late. It's too late.
No, it's too late for her.
Yeah, it's too late for her. Anyways, on to the next one. Speaking of returning shows that have quite a bit of fan service but well written into the story, Date A Live. Date A Live was announced for season 3. Now, for those who don't know about Date A Live is a supernatural rom-com series about a main character who is tasked with an organization for going on dates with spirits, because he's the only one that can tame them and keep them from going out of control. Well, the spirits are actually very varied in their personalities and characters, and it's very much romantic comedy, but it does have a lot of action scenes when the girls kind of go into fights and stuff like that. But it has some of my favorite characters, and one of them I absolutely love because of the fact that she's a crazy, right? And I'm talking like Toga from My Hero and Yuno Gasai from Future Diary level crazy, because of the fact that she can create time clones of herself by shooting herself in the head with a pistol. And I love this girl, right? She is literally one of my favorite characters, and she is probably one of my favorite characters because of the fact that she ain't afraid of nothing. Like, this girl will literally walk around in lingerie and garters all the time because that's just what she feels comfortable in. And everyone throws a fit about it, and she's like, "What? You act like you've never seen underwear before." And her reaction to everything is just so out there. I love it. Like, honestly, she's just something crazy. Like, Kurumi is just one of those characters, and I love her. So when they announced that they're getting a 3rd season, I got excited because I had already watched the films and watched the last 2 seasons. So you have to really check this out for anyone who's into rom-coms, especially harem animes or anything like that. But like the ones that are actually well done. I'm not talking like fucking Love Hina. Love Hina is a harem I still can't get past, because why does he have a harem when he's so ah,
that's the whole point of harem animes. That's the
no. There are harem animes that are done well when the character deserves them. Look at High School DxD. The boy Issei actually goes out, defends the girl, shows that he's strong, gets his ass kicked, but doesn't stop. He deserves the girls that fall in love with him. Love Hina. The boy is an idiot, and he has everyone in love with him just because he owns the hotel or the apartment complex that his grandma left him. That's legitimately it. He has nothing worthwhile to offer.
Maybe and I read the entire enough. Free housing is enough to pour yourself out. I'm sorry.
No, I read the entire manga series and I watched the anime. He does not do anything worthwhile for any of the girls to fall in love with him. Only the main one that eventually does fall, that he marries at the end of the series because he pushes her to go to college. That's it. Everyone else does not have a reason to fall in love with him.
You just don't see the benefit of free housing. Like, no. You know, you've been amazed what you can get somebody to do for some food. Just think about if you give them a room, a place to stay.
Oh, no. You know what's funny is that a character actually did that. She's like, here, you want to feel my breasts? And he's just like, what? And she's like, cool, that covers my rent for the next month. And he's like, wait, what?
See? You prove my point.
I hate that series so much. Yet I read it all.
I love it, but I hate it. Not you.
Hey, whoa.
What would you do for some free housing, Bloody? Huh? Bloody?
Nothing I can say on stream.
I'm saying no comment.
Next series, Kakegurui Season 2. aka Gambling Addict. I love Yume Jabami. If you haven't seen the series on Netflix, it's about a school that's all about gambling to get anywhere. And the characters in the show are literally the most wild, eclectic, crazy characters that you'll ever know. But the main character, she's absolutely addicted to the thrill of gambling. And she catches a young boy known as Ryota up in the whirlwind of her atmosphere as she gets caught up in her gambling addictions at this school. And I gotta say, the first season was something else. I loved it. I fell in love with it. The gambling aspect of it all was just something amazing. And the way it ended on it was the most bittersweet cliffhanger because it ended in a tie between Jabami and Ryota against the rest of the student council. And the way that they set up for season 2, I'm looking forward to what's going to be coming next. Like, honestly, I love this show. It really does show like what happens when gambling is literally used as a way to get by in life. And I mean, like, literally your social standing is based on your gambling skills and how you can rig the system into your favor, because that's what it really shows a lot of. And I love it. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend checking out Kakegurui Season 1 because I'm really excited for Season 2 to come out in the summer season this year. And last of the returning shows that I'm really looking forward to is Bungo Stray Dogs. Bungo Stray Dogs I have actually hyped up multiple times because this series is so special because each of the main characters or each of the characters that you meet in there, they're named after a famous author from their country. So everyone from the detective agency in Japan is named after a Japanese author. There is an organization based on American agents, and they're all named after famous American authors. There's one based on British authors, and each of these characters have special powers, but their powers are based on a novel, poem, or anything written by that author. And I find it so intriguing because of the fact that you get such a unique take on these characters, on these authors and their stories and powers and stuff like that. And it makes you want to go read where these powers are inspired from because they're based on these poems or novels and kind of look more into these characters. You know, there's one character literally called Lovecraft. And, you know, he's named after H.P. Lovecraft. And his power is called insanity. And it's literally based on on Cthulhu. You know, he's able to not die. He creates all these tentacles and he goes after everyone. But, you know, he's basically immortal. You know, Cthulhu and the old gods are immortal for a reason, and they cause insanity around everyone that looks upon their visage. I love it. It's one of those things that is just simply amazing to see. You know, Atsushi, the main character, I love him because his powers, he's a were-tiger. And you go and read the poem that the author wrote about the were-tiger, and it's so interesting. And then my favorite character who inspired the chibi that you see me use on the show, Dazai. I love Dazai. He's such a character. His quirk that makes him so unique is the fact that he's covered up in bandages, and all he talks about is how he wants to commit double suicide with a beautiful woman. And every time he saves Atsushi, whenever he hurts himself and like Atsushi just falls into his lap, he's just like, I don't like boys like that, and just throws the poor boy aside every time, and yet still ends up carrying him away like a princess.
So harsh.
Oh no, he does it out of love. It's hilarious. But like, you have to watch Bungo Stray Dogs if you haven't. Like, honestly, it is one that I absolutely recommend, because it is the way that they portray everything is something unique. It makes you want to go look at a little bit more of history. You know, it makes you want to read a little bit more and inspire people. You know, that's what I love about it. Now, I only have three shows that are coming out this year that are new that I want to mention. And two of them I'm going to say real quick because they're both coming on the same platform. Netflix has been killing it with international content. They are absolutely dedicated to the Japanese market, and they're bringing two shows that I'm absolutely hyped about. And I mentioned one earlier, and I'm going to mention it again. They are bringing Ultraman. They're after almost 30 years, Ultraman is finally getting a new series. He's finally getting the respect they deserve. The animation looks clean. You can shut your mouth, and I'll mute your mic. Ultraman. I am so excited for Ultraman. It's legitimately, without Ultraman, so many of the series and shows that we grew up with would not exist. And I'm really glad that they're bringing it back. The animation is clean because they're using the dedicated 3D models, not the half-ass CGI that we see in like the Berserk remake, and what we kind of saw in a little bit of in the Godzilla movie trilogy on Netflix. While I do like the films, there are times where the animation from the CGI can be very off-putting with some of the character models, same as with Knights of Sidonia. But with Ultraman, they are doing dedicated 3D modeling, kind of like they did with Space Harlock, as well as Gant Zero. So I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, the other show, which I'm also a big fan of, is Saint Seiya, because Saint Seiya was an amazing series that came out back in 84 to 87 and has not had a new series since the remake that they did based on the females. I believe it was Saint Seiya Hades that came out back in the early 2000s, which was only a short run series of like 30 episodes that came out over the span of 6 years. So the fact is they're remaking Saint Seiya, and that has me super excited for what's coming from Netflix and everything else.
I didn't enjoy that show, so ew.
But Netflix is killing it with their international content. Like, honestly, I'm really happy with what they're doing.
I am enjoying that. Well, Netflix is doing a lot. Sometimes they're a little extra with it, but they're bringing more anime to the masses, and that's always a plus.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really glad with what they're doing with it. And I'm glad that these are two series that are absolutely getting brought back. But that's kind of where I am with what's coming out next year. There's a few more, but we've been kind of going for a while. And I know it's getting late for everyone. But just 2019 is going to be one hell of a year with what's already been announced and what's yet to be announced. So I know I'm looking forward to what's coming out in the future, and I know everyone else is too. And for all the anime fans out there, trust me, 2019 is going to be an interesting year to look at. But other than all that, is there anyone else who has anything they want to add before we hop on out of here?
What was the other anime? It's an older one, like a cult classic that Netflix got hold of. We talked about it only one of our previous shows. It was it's another mecha Evangelion. I know I'm pronouncing it
Oh,
right.
I hate that show. I hate it. I hate it. Let's not talk about it.
That they got the rights to put Neon Genesis the entire series on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, so I gotta check it out.
I love it.
Don't do it.
I love Neon Genesis because it's a mecha, but I also hate it because of the fact that when I go back and rewatch it and I realize I watched this as a kid, I said, damn, I was desensitized and fucked up. But also because Shinji is a bitch. Shinji is the biggest bitch.
Of all time. Like
of all time.
Dude.
Thank you. Like he is a little bitch.
Is he the MC?
Like I know I got daddy issues, but this boy got way more daddy issues. And he should have said his daddy straight a long time ago. I just can't with that whole show. I can't. I can't.
So he's the MC.
Yo, for real.
Yeah, he's the main character, and I low-key hate him.
Shinji's the worst. I was like, and you thought any other character had daddy issues? Nah, he had hella daddy issues. Like the fact that he can't even get with his best friend, his childhood best friend, is like throwing herself at him, and he's just like, I don't know. And she like legitimately is just like, take it now, and he's just like, but I can't. And then she like beats the shit out of him. Like he's a bitch.
Why?
No, that's not even going into the aspect of what they did in the movie, right? When she is unconscious, comatose in the hospital, and he's sitting there like, I can't believe she might not live. The boy, he masturbates over her comatose body.
Nigga, what?
I'm not even joking. This boy is messed up.
I don't want to watch this no more. I don't want to watch.
No, you gotta watch it now. You got.
Oh man, that is some that's some Saturday night hentai shit right there.
Hey.
I'll say this though: early '90s anime were perfectly fine with certain aspects of sexual content. I won't deny that, and this one is a messed up aspect, but it makes sense later on in the movie. But I still don't like Shinji. He's still a bitch.
He's definitely a bitch after that move, man. Be whacking and hacking and smacking. We don't want in real life, nah.
Yeah,
he
and then don't even get me started about what happens after 3.0, after Third Impact, and him and her at the end of the world. Like, ugh. I hate Shinji. I do. I was like, I love Neon Genesis, but I hate Neon Genesis. I do so much only because of Shinji.
I hate it. I low-key hate it. I watched it in college. I was like, my friends like, oh, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. I'm like, sure, come on, now cook some food. Come on. I wanted to throw something at them so bad. By the time we watched that whole series, I was so done. I would rather have a root canal.
Yeah. Well, I think we definitely got out how we felt about quite a bit of old schools as well as what just happened this past year and what we're looking forward to the future. But guys, it is getting hella late for us, so we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. But before we do, Sharice, let them know where they can find you at, dear.
Yes, Bloody. It's your girl Sharice here. Every Saturday at noon East Coast time, I'm on the Grown Women Gaming podcast where we discuss gaming news and gaming related things with my girls. You can find me on Twitter all the time, lurking. I'm on Mixer. I'm just all over the place lurking. So, check me out. Follow me on Twitter. Just hang out. I love to talk, love to chat, and watch weird ass anime.
Yes.
So yeah.
and me and you are gonna stream together. We got to stream together soon. We were actually talking about doing something here soon together. I forget what we were. We're gonna be doing something together. You're gonna see Sharice a lot more often. I was like, I love having Sharice on.
I know, right? Because I'm awesome. Sometimes, yeah.
Exactly. So everyone, be sure to show her some love. Follow her on Twitter. I'll have her contact info below. Of course, check out the Girls of Grown Women Gaming. All love to those queens over there. Shout out to Lady, to Delilah HD, and of course El Boogie to them. And then of course you can find mine and operations information down below. Stay tuned because we do have a lot of big things coming up for the Smash Podcast and for my channel here. For 2019, we're gonna be doing a lot of things here, especially in 2 weeks. I will be at PAX South, so you'll be seeing some stuff from me from there. So do be looking out for that because I will be at the Bandai booth talking with some of the people there, showing off a lot of stuff. Jump Force and One Piece World Secret, all that. You'll be seeing stuff from me from that. But definitely do be looking at what's going to be coming in the future. But we don't want to take any more time of you guys. So for everyone who was here listening and watching, we do love you all. We do appreciate y'all. If y'all enjoyed it, please do leave a like down below, comment, share the video. We are close to 200 subscribers on the channel. Every little bit helps us. I was like, we're trying to grow as much as we can, and we don't ask often. We never do, but it does mean the world to us if you do that. So please, please, please share this with everyone that you know, especially all your anime friends. Let them know that there are a passionate group of people like us who talk about this and are very down to earth about what we do. But from all of us from here to you, peace out and check you guys later.
Peace.